جنوبي كل يوم موت موت لمتين يا اخوانا نقول سلام سلام متين السلام ده يجي يلدونا في غروب ونربي في غروب وكمان نموت في غروب لكل جنوبي يموت قطعة من جنوبنا بيموت نجري لمتين ولوين ندي يالنا وندي أرواحنا وندي دمنا فضل شنو تاني أنا تعبان أنا ما شعبان لكن أنا بس تعبان أنا ما فرحان لكن أنا بس تعبان أنا ما سكران لكن أنا بس سكران أنا ما سكران لكن أنا بس تعبان Say we that beat وهلو سلام مفروض يكون مفهوم يا في الجنوب ده لا يكون هذا مواطني ما يشوف يا بنية بونجوز يابا حبوبة حاجات ما بفهم في جنوبنا هي جوا عنصرية جوا كراهية جوا قلب كبير جوا فساد جوا رغم حاجاتها الناس جوا بويا صوت فاشل في جينا بازوكا جري جري لبتين جنوبيين قاعدين على نيروبي UN Rico Australia Spain أي روم ده الدنيا جنوبيين في ليه وبلا كارتالا no wisdom one sound the gun redundant like a head song I'm feeling so tight أنا تعبان أنا تعبان من جري جري أنا تعبان من كاتوري أنا تعبان من كلمتين أنا تعبان من مشاكل تعبان تاني تفيتري أنا كمان في تري تلقى ملوتة وصا وصا كمان ناجيان أنا تعبان مشاكل كربو بالليل تالي نور يا فبالليل موت كل يوم في تلفون جنوب تانينا كربو هنا مالو دم كوبو أكويا وكابلو أنا تعبان في شنو أنا موكي جنوبي بسي كل يوم أنا كيكيني في كوفي أنا تعبان كل يوم أنا تعبان كل يوم أنا تعبان من جري أنا تعبان من كاتوري أنا تعبان من كلمتين أنا تعبان من مشاكل تعبان حياتي جنوبي بيجا كلام تموتو بيجا يوم يقوى شيء بيجا يوم بيجين في سيجا لمتين ماما بيكوري لمتين ماما بيكوري لمتين تبقى بيكوري أنا تباني لسوين كيموتولي ويال كيموتولي موينا كيكوبو ودوم كيكوبو Think about the youth, think about the future أنا تبان جري بيجا تلا ساكافا أنا تبان حياتي كإنسان بيجا ركيز أنا تبان سيئان بيجا تلا سوناسكا أنا تبان حياتي كمان كإنسان بيجا ركيز أنا تبان من جري أنا تبان من كاتوري أنا تبان من كلمتين أنا تبان من مشاكل تبان أنا تبان من كاتولو أنا عيان من جري أنا زيان أسان كده أنا بسلام أنا ما شعبان لكن أنا بس تعبان أنا ما فرحان لكن أنا بس فدران
Hello, Nile Nation viewers. We are streaming live again, Saturday, April the 3rd. Thank you so much for our viewers. I would like to say first, Happy Easter. I think it's a very important event that we have to celebrate Easter. I'm not here to preach, but it's a good thing to remember that the very miraculous or work that Christ did on the cross, that he have to die for our sin, and also for those who are in Australia, probably they can say Christ is risen, because two important things that happen on Easter, which is the death of Christ on the cross of Calvary, and also he conquered the death by rising again. And that is our faith, because without that work, I think the salvation will not really take place. That is the core of our belief as a Christian. So thank you so much. So again, I will tell you Happy Easter to all of you. As we're gonna continue with our program today, just to tell you the title. The title for today is we're gonna be talking about security arrangements and also challenges posed by ethnic militias or ethnic groups that armed group. So we're going to be talking about that. But at the meantime, I would like to play another video. Please keep sharing these live video now or live show. Keep sharing it with friends. As we know that all the social media, really, all of them, they are a concerned member of a South Sudan that has a heart for that beloved country. And we need to make a difference. So at least the system of governance that can come and rule our country should be very legitimate, and also it's for the people. So I'm going to play another video. Please remain tuned. Don't go away, because this video also has something to do with the topic that we are talking about today. And please keep share the video, invite your friends, let us come together, let us talk, right? Because really talking is a good thing. It's resolving a lot of things. I know a few individuals, they are not okay with the social media, but I think we need to thank Facebook and YouTube for giving us a platform that we can come and share our views, okay, and come and educate ourselves. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm going to play another video. Just bear with me.
This month marks the 20th anniversary of the genocide in Rwanda. Over the course of 100 days in 1994, a murderous ethnic killing spree took the lives of nearly 1 million people there. Special correspondent Fred de Sam Lazaro reports on the efforts underway even now to reconcile the rival parties. Fred's report is part of our series, Agents for Change. A version of the story aired on the PBS program Religion and Ethics News Weekly.
Every Sunday, Claude Musiamana picks up his neighbor Celestine Buhanda on their way to church. You'd never tell from the warm traditional greeting that Musiamana murdered several members of Buhanda's family. It It's a friendship as unthinkable as the homicidal orgy in which Hutus like Musiamana took nearly 1 million lives among the minority Tutsis like Buhanda, as well as some moderate Hutus.
Growing up, I remember my grandmother would tell me how bad they were. In 1994, when we started killing people, the local leaders were supporting us. I did it freely. There was no blame, no consequences.
Official broadcasts incited Hutus to kill Tutsis after an airplane carrying the country's Hutu president was shot down, escalating a simmering civil war fought along ethnic lines. The tension dates back decades, aggravated first by Belgian colonial rulers who favored the minority Tutsi. That created an elite and bred resentment among the 85% Hutu majority in Rwanda.
Sorry guys, I should warn you that there is a very really saddening images there. Sorry about that. I should let you know and warn you. Sorry about that.
I fled to the church in Ntarama. The only reason I survived is that it was so crowded, we decided to allow only women and children to shelter inside the church.
All 5,000 women and children in the church were killed with grenades or guns.
We were 8 siblings. In all, 6 of them were killed.
He himself survived a weeks-long flight and encounters with Hutu mobs who left him with blows to the head, a severed Achilles tendon, and left him for dead.
Killings continued until the RPF arrived.
The RPF, or Rwandan Patriotic Front, an army led by exiles from neighboring Uganda, took over the country. It drove genocide leaders and millions of Hutus into neighboring Zaire, now the Democratic Republic of Congo. Thousands of mostly Hutus were killed in reprisals. RPF leader Paul Kagame consolidated power, became Rwanda's president in 2000, and has since won 2 elections.
After the RPF came to power, I fled to the south. I felt guilty about the innocent people I killed. I decided to come forward and tell the truth. I was arrested and put in prison.
Musiamana spent 10 years in prison. Like him, many perpetrators are now out and returning to their communities, an integration that would be difficult in any circumstance in this crowded country, 12 million people squeezed into a land the size of Maryland.
Rwanda's churches, so many of them complicit in the genocide, so many of them the very site where massacres occurred, are being asked to play a key role in the reconciliation that will be essential to rebuilding this country.
Claude Musiamana and Celestine Buhanda met in one of many small groups set up by the Christian charity World Vision. It organized regular meetings that brought genocide survivors face to face with perpetrators.
The workshops were very important. For many years, I kept wondering what I could do to be free, to be accepted back in the village. This was an opportunity.
It wasn't easy. We yelled at them at first, and that allowed us to feel relief, and we were able to find space in our hearts to forgive.
Today, the former workshop groups serve as clubs, organizing projects to build homes for genocide survivors, or run projects like the Screen Nursery, trying to move forward as one community despite ever-present reminders and pain. Alice Mukarurenda lost not only her infant daughter, but also her right hand during genocide. She bears a deep facial scar among other injuries. She met her assailant, Emmanuel Ndaisaba, 6 years ago in this group.
All those years, I looked at all Hutus as the ones that did this to me. I prayed to God that if I could meet the one person, I would shift the blame from all Hutus to him.
I saw visions of the people I killed for many years. It was painful. I was a Christian, an Adventist. I was in the choir. All that guilt made me sick.
When I first saw him, I was so traumatized. I had to be taken to the hospital for 10 days. It was not easy. But then later I managed to forgive him. I believe it was God's power.
We have built 118 houses so far. That's one of the things we do to pay back what we did to genocide. I spent 8 years in prison, came out and did 2 years of community work, but it never feels like enough.
The fact that we are given the time to speak out about our feelings made us feel much better. We had kept all the sorrows and pain in our heart. It was so painful.
It helped that her attacker was literally working for forgiveness, building houses for people who were harmed in the genocide.
I see really reconciliation is taking place, and it's not fake. It's genuine. When you cannot fake reconciliation. You can't.
World Vision's Josephine Munieli says so far her group alone has brought rapprochement between more than 1,000 pairs of genocide survivors and perpetrators. But there's no escaping, it will be a long journey.
The challenge is the magnitude of genocide. You know, it was very deep. It was awful. It was very bad, and you cannot exhaust it. You know, you hear. But when another day you remember another story.
Rebecca Besant has been working to make sure reconciliation moves forward among younger Rwandans. She heads the Rwanda office of a group called Search for Common Ground.
The fact that, your neighbor killed your entire family and now you're still in the house next to them and have to see them every day. A lot of people have sort of decided I don't have a choice. And either I can let my rage absolutely consume me, or I can accept the fact that I'm not going anywhere and he's not going anywhere, and we have to make this work.
Her agency uses a reality TV show to encourage entrepreneurs, trains journalists in a country where media were used to incite the genocide, and works in schools. Many of today's youth were orphaned by the genocide. Others have parents in prison. Through drama skits, this troupe encourages students to come together as Rwandans first.
One of the things that we're really trying to encourage, and I think is important for Rwanda in the future, is how to talk about things before it explodes. If you're a young person and you've got a problem in your classroom, how do you express what that problem is, and you talk about it in a frank and open way? And I think that continues to be one of the challenges.
One thing that she and others say is helping Rwanda heal is that the economy and access to services like healthcare have improved markedly in recent years.
In our second report tomorrow, Fred looks at those improvements. His reporting is a partnership with the Undertold Stories Project at St. Mary's University in Minnesota. This month marks
Thank you so much, viewers. I think we will leave that video there. Before I go to my colleagues here, I just want to say that we played that video. If you looked at it, there is a genocide took place. Genocide took place, but after that, people came for reconciliation, and was in reconciliation for sure. Somebody have to admit that yes, I did that wrong, and that was wrong. If you can see, even some of the people that commit those things, there were a Christian choir, like worshiping people, but when those incitement come against each other, and then that is what happened. So genocide took place, reconciliation, somebody have to admit that I did wrong, right? And it's up to the other person, which is pretty much sometime, is you have to forgive after the person. And then what happened after that? They leave everything behind and put the country first. And people have to move on, right? Things happen in life. I just want to give maybe 5 minutes to my colleagues here Just before we go to our topics, our topic today, what is your take on the video that I just played to you guys? If William, if you can please unmute yourself and share with us, what do you think about that video?
Yeah, thank you, Pel, brother Pel, and thank you, Otto and Mabur. Thank you very much, and thank you to you all, our audience, wherever you are. And as Pel mentioned, that Happy Easter is a big, big day for all people over the world, because Lord is risen. So we hope and we pray that we rise with Lord together with a new spirit, new soul, a new mind, and new hearts, which we really need. We are injured, we are wounded, and then we need a new spirit. And with God, we can have that. So what is going on back home, we can bypass it. Yeah, the video is very important. Is a school for all of us, for all the people who are still in war. Yeah, so what I learned from it is two things: reconciliation and forgiveness. And then they go together with confession. So three things. Reconciling mean forgive, confess, and which we are seeing now is very hard, but that is the reality. Another thing is also when people who love each other, they live as family, just incitement can turn them against each others. And that's why even we in Southern Sudan now killing each other. The peace we enjoy before is gone. And because there is some problem happen somewhere like what we heard now. The Belgium started this one. Even we in Southern Sudan, we are tribe. But those people, they are not tribe. They just give them a title, Hutus and Tutsi. And then now it become like a tribe. And then they kill themselves. So something planned from outside by outsider, and then it happened, and they slaughtered themselves. But I'm very, very, very thankful and very really uh, uh, encouraged by the courage of those people to stand up and talk to each other. That is so touching, because it's not easy and it's not the sign of weakness, but that is the power. So yeah, so it's very it's a school, and is reminding us that other people who can live in peace, their peace can be taken away from them by other people, and this is what happened in Southern Sudan. Now we are fighting each other. It's not our war, it's a war brought somewhere. So thank you, Pal. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. William. And I would just like to give a chance also to Mr. Ruto. What is your take on that video?
Okay, thank you, panel and viewers. Good evening, good morning. Happy Easter to all of you. Yeah, I think today is a good day for Christian, but we are still bleeding in Southern Sudan. That's why we put both together. Let them come together at the same time so we can choose. Do we have a heart to believe what the word of God tells us and what we are doing is good or no? From the video, I think we have a message to people of Southern Sudan. Yes, we are tribe, but not a bad tribe. It's a good tribe. But the way our leaders impact on us is what makes us we look bad now, and we are fighting each other. Our message is this: you know, no one in this world, especially in Southern Sudan, is a coward. All of us, we are very aggressive, and we know ourselves very well. So whatever going on now in Southern Sudan is not a good thing for us, all of us. Therefore, we post this video with bad image so that the message can reach all Southern Sudanese. We don't need to be in that position, killing each other, bringing new killer, like you burn the humans or you cut the neck off. That's really inhumanity. What we're trying to do here is like a workshop. Don't believe on what the white people need to come and give us the orientation. We can orient ourselves through online, send a message, a good message, that we be aware about what's going on, and we don't have to fight, and we don't have to reach that level. Yes, we know the government in Juba is not helping our people at all. They are suffering, but the government, they don't care. Can you believe that? A couple of days ago, like yesterday, the flood was a long time ago. People that are suffering, they are really getting embarrassing to see the world is posting the picture, but the government, they didn't even care about them. Yesterday, I don't know what happened. We saw the General Salva Kiir going to see those who are in the flood and all those things. Very strange, right? For people of Southern Sudan to see something like that. But overall, what we need to do, government, it don't care. We have to care ourselves to take care of ourselves, because sometimes it's hard to see people that are not well trained and they are ambushing the others and all those things. The important, let we have orientation. Let we orient ourselves, like send a message from here. Not a bad message, it's a good message to everybody. Ethnic fighting is not good at all. My condolences to the family for those who pass away, get killed in Malakal. Very sad, but let them remember this. Everything is documented. You see, what we just showed a couple of minutes ago? That's happened in 94. Can you believe that the video with people, they have it now? That's why our message today is this. Those militias who is killing people in the city, their name is well known, their family well known, their ethnic well known. So don't forget, if you think you have a power now, tomorrow the power will shift to the next one. And thank you.
We will get to the militias in a few minutes. So it's good to hear your thoughts, guys. Things like that. Again, I would like to say thank you to our viewers, whoever joined us today. I kind of recognize your names. Some of you, I know them personally. Thank you for coming in. Maybe when we start saying few things about the topic, we will drop the link, and please don't shy away. You can come in and share your thoughts, or you argue with us. As you can see, our topic today, it's security arrangements and the challenges posted by ethnic militant. Before I turn the microphone to William Moto Mabor, let me just say something a little bit. I think all of us, we know when our movement started. I'm not going to go to maybe further more detail, but let us just take it from when the movement started as SPLM, SPLA. We know very much that The SPLM was the political wing, and the SPLA was the military wing. But if we look as we get engaged in the movement in 2011, July 9th, we get our independence and we become a sovereign country. It's very unfortunate that when we were fighting as one, it's very unfortunate that we came and now turn the guns into ourselves and start killing each other. Normally, even before we break down with Sudan, I used to say, in Sudan, we have plenty. We have plenty. You can take from it. I can take from it. Like, look at it as when we have the food in front of us. All of us, we dip in. We have enough that you can have enough to satisfy your hunger. No reason at all, even was in the old Sudan, that we should be killing each other just because of the resources, discriminating against each other and things like that. But say what? Okay, we get our independence. And that is what we were being fighting for. Now, still, like all the resources that we have it in South Sudan, why we have to turn against each other? All of us, and we know that even Malak was telling us several times that really the majority of South Sudanese was not killed by Jalaba. We kill ourselves. Our armed forces kill us. SPLA kill us. But if we look at it, SPLA also, it was kind of battalions that coming together. You have all those names before, More, Tiger, Koryom, all these names, Zalan, all these names, you put them there, right? So, but when we get our independence, something happened to SPLA. Like, it's become a tribals grouping, tribal militants or tribals militias. Yes, we know 2013, it was not caused by all the South Sudanese. It was in the SPLM themselves, and then of course was picked up by the armed forces, which is SPLA. But also we learned that during that time, also there is new names coming up. Matianganyor, Dutkubany, Goldwing, or something like that, those names. So these become all militias. I remember when Matianganyor, before they were graduated, that is the time we had a little clashes at Panto, right? At that time they were in training. As the division that was up there, right? And I remember majority of those division that was up there fighting in Panto, they are, I think, majority of them was people from Bull, or they call it Bull in Western Nuer. So when that war is finished, so Matianganyor was graduated. Some of them came graduated in Luri and things like that. But look what happened after that. The genocide happened. So if we look at the security arrangement that we try to talk about it today, We know some, like all these signatories parties to the peace that they sign, which is revitalized peace agreement, all of them came in to Juba with no security arrangements at all. No security arrangements. So the only thing that can help us actually coming out from SPLA with all their grouping, torn down the fabric of the social fabric of South Sudanese. They're supposed to be a unified forces. I think we, all of us know, we don't hear about SPLA right now. We just hear about SSPDF. We're supposed to be the forces that supposed to be the national army. And of course, for this SSPDF to complete, they have to bring in the other forces that was fighting the government, which is like SPLA-IO, for example, SAWA forces, and other forces that belong to those who sign the peace agreement. So the whole thing lie on, we need to have, for the security arrangement to be in place, there should be a unified force. And those unified forces, they have to go for training, graduate, and dispatch to protect all the South Sudanese. And I was hearing Johnson Juma was saying that if these forces are graduated, for sure, they're going to be sent into the border. The work in the city is not belong to them, it's belong to the police. But are we hearing anything about the police now being strengthened, so at least to take care of the civilian? So if we look at it, they steal the security arrangements. It's being ruined by all these organized, militias that are still active and not being disarmed. And some of them can go back to being normal civilian and things like that. But they are still in some other pockets being graduated, being equipped, and things like that. If we can give a simple example, like what we see with Tuk, it's not part of the unified forces. All of us, we know that. But these are the things that we are talking about. The security arrangements, it has challenges because the tribal militants are still taking place. I know any of you can have a different thoughts, but I will stop here and I would like to hear your views on that. That yes, we have a security arrangement in place, it's supposed to be in place, but actually is not being implemented in the right way. But we're still seeing the challenges that is happening from the tribal militias. What can we say about that? My brother Uto, if you can unmute yourself and educate us a little bit.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's very important topic to our people to hear and to be aware why always we're talking about this. Security arrangement is article and items mentioned in peace agreement under all signatories, but implementation is a problem now. So I don't know who is going to be blamed. Commander-in-chiefs, and we don't have it. We thought they are going to make security arrangement as a priority because it's dangerous for themselves, even because we see what happened in J1 and we learn from there. Now we say, okay, let we try to implement this one without having two militaries or two armies, but still nothing changed. Anyway, in Article 2.2, mechanism for security arrangement, whom we have it there, and everything is mentioned. The only problem I can see now, there's two very important, like what happened last time in Juba and Malakal all around. We're supposed to have two very important joint military ceasefire commission at national level. I think we don't have that, and that's why everything can split split anytime. Also, when you go 2.442, there is something called Area Joint Military Ceasefire Commission at state level. If we have these two, I think what happened in some area cannot happen. So the peace agreement 2018, everything is there. So the question now, why we still have insecurity in all the cities, areas? That's the question, really very important. And the main thing I can see in that one is that suppose in Article 2.4.1, it said all the head of opposition army groups shall continue at commanders. Their commanders, they're supposed to be in their place. All groups, they're supposed to be in their area, keeping their commanders and everything, and chiefs and their force until the end of the period of transitional, pre-transitional period of or until the end of the unification process. I think that thing is not working also. So if you look at the peace agreement, the way we wrote the agreement is perfect and everything is there. So now the problem with the South Sudanese, because we block our mind sometimes. We don't want to do a good thing, but we love to do a bad thing for benefit of individual. That's why the innocent are suffering. They are suffering not because we don't have a ability to do all those, but we have ability. The main problem I can see in security arrangement, that's the two things they're supposed to have it at least. Okay, Joint Military Ceasefire Commission at national level, and also Area Joint Military Ceasefire Commission at state level. Those, if we have them, I'm quite sure security cannot be split anytime, or the innocent civilian cannot be killed. So our problem is not because the rule is not applying, but the mood, if president in good mood, he can apply wherever he want to apply, because he look at himself like the only person who can be able to do all good or bad according to his mode. That's what I can take, and thank you, Pearl. I can yell it back to you.
Thank you so much for also pointing out those articles in the revitalized peace agreement. I think is a very important document. It should be in everybody's hand that they can go and look into it. Yes, of course. I remember Dr. Marial Benjamin. He was saying, yes, people can sign agreement, but the devil, it's in the details. I think that is what we are seeing now. The revitalized peace agreement has really good points, good articles. If it is implemented, but with letter and a spirit, I think we shouldn't be really talking about it today, because everything will go smooth. We will just be focusing on other things like election and things like that. How can we do that? But yes, we realize that the revitalized peace agreement is not out of the tunnel yet. It's still there, because there is really a lot of delayment with all these unified armed forces that's supposed to be being called the national army. Uh, my brother William, or Mr. William, you heard me what I was saying. Please, can you unmute yourself and share with us your views? Thank you.
Thank you, Pal, and thank you, viewer. You know, we are still in war, for sure. We're still in war. So, as people of one country trying to get out from this fighting mood, um, we need to have a constructive conversation. As I mentioned before, that everybody is wounded all over the southern Sudan. So I think what we want is peace. And this peace again did not come from nothing. Every house in the southern Sudan has paid a price. But now the consolation is to console each other is peace, which we have now in southern Sudan. And it's very important. So our duty as citizens, we have a moral responsibility to help our governments or our TGONU, Turganu. They have challenge, but the peace is there. Are we going to blame ourselves? Yes, we can blame ourselves that X, Y, or X and Y kill A. And everybody have to blame. This is what Lord Jesus, we are just having Easter tomorrow, said to the Jews, anyone who have not sinned, let him or her cast the stone on that woman, and no one. So we in Southern Sudan, we are in pain all because there is a war. And why the war? Because injustice, leadership has been applied in Southern Sudan, where other people take everything. And when you rule people with injustice, there is a resistance. So already the Southern Sudanese have resisted, and as a result, we have what we have today. Now, at war, what we get, incitement is there, killing is there, and division is there, chaos is there, confiscation of people possession is there. Nothing you can see is good thing in your eyes. That is what war can bring to us. So we already have fought this war and we have peace now. I can go back again and mention what I mentioned before, that this peace agreement signed in 2018 There is article telling us that not us, our government, from the opposition and Kir himself, that they have a moral duty to inform the citizen of Southern Sudan about this peace. And the reason is that so we are informed of each article of the peace, so we know. And then we own it, because that is the price we get as a result of killing. But they are not telling us because they don't want us. It's the same thing what happened in Machakos. There are, I don't know how many protocols, 7 or what, I don't know. But there is one protocol I can mention. Is chapter 3 is wealth sharing. Wealth sharing. And he's saying very clearly that the wealth of Sudan, the wealth of Sudan shall be shared equitably so as to enable each level of government to discharge its legal and constitutional responsibility and duties. Now, our government in Southern Sudan, they didn't even tell us, they didn't even work on that protocol of wealth sharing, that the wealth of Sudan has to be shared, because that is all our money. Whether the military equipment has to be shared, whether the money, the budget of Sudan has to be shared, everything equally. But nobody talk about that. You know, it's the same thing today. The peace agreement, each article, the people of Southern Sudan, they have a right to be informed what is it. So you can see that your people who contributed much with their blood, they didn't die in vain. This peace is assuring them, so they have hope again. But for us as a citizen, as I said, we have a duty. What we have to do is to educate ourselves. If the war brought us a division and we kill each other, you know you cannot go. Our brother Abel Kone is here. Can they come from Baliot and try to cross where Agwalek is? They're scared. They cannot do that. Can the people from Agwalek side go freely crossing to Baliot? They cannot. So that means there is problem. We are not in peace yet. So what peace is telling us is to implement it. So security arrangement is a medicine to us. It's a medicine we all have to drink. Why security arrangement is very important, people of Southern Sudan? Because it will take away the fear we are living in. When we unify the forces, we will have one unified army with the commander-in-chief who will be responsible for security everywhere. Now, you will not be afraid of Agwalak, you will not be afraid of Abushok, you will not be afraid of Trek or whatever, or White Army. You will not, because we have a single army in Southern Sudan. And this is why peace is telling us this. So what will you do when you don't have this one? That is what you get. I will choose my victims, rally my forces, and go and do what I want. And I go there, I sit down, and then I will be followed down, because I'm not free. There is a revenge. It will continue like that. So this is the life we want to continue even though we are the peace already? I don't think so. So that's why it's very important that we preach the language of peace. Now, what the article has also mentioned is telling us, to me, there is three things. One thing in that article of security arrangement, one thing is disarmament. Because if you have a unified forces, you need to disarm, and this is what we saw last time in Lagos State. Okay, you disarm them. Where are they going? Are you sending them home? Yes, you have to send them home, but you have to retire them. You have to give them the incentive because you cannot throw them away. They have to be part. As these people was telling us today, I can go back and join the community. This is what the video is telling us. Many people are saying. You disarm them, and then now what next? In the article, integration. You have to integrate them into the army, which is unified forces. You integrate it, then you have them now, and instead of being ethnic militia, they are now within a unified forces. So disarmament, integration. And then the third one is demobilization. And this is what now the Salva Kiir, instead of graduating the unified forces, he is mobilizing, which is opposite to the peace or the article of the peace, who is asking demobilize, don't mobilize. Demobilize. That means don't do it again. There is no time for them again. We have a time now for unified forces, But the government is continue going ahead with mobilization of the troop. That is a violation of peace agreement. So three things: disarm, integrate, and demobilize. So for us, as the people of Southern Sudan, that is the noble duty for us to implement this peace, because this peace came as a result of the blood that was shed. Thank you, Pell.
Thank you so much. For our viewers, I think the areas that you just quoted at the last minute, if you go to Revitalized Peace Agreement, you will find it in Chapter 2, Article 2.2.2. You will see that there of what William was mentioning a few minutes ago. About demobilization of the forces. But still, I have a question running in my mind. But before I ask that question, we have also Mabur welcome with us here. I'm not sure if I can call you a veteran or something like that, but if you don't like that, I don't have any problem. What is your take on this? Like, we are thinking about the security arrangement, but it's not really being implemented in the right way, and yet we see there is still the, uh, the militias or the militants being empowered and still have guns in their hand, instead of graduating the unified forces and take these militant to training and then graduate them to be a unified forces also. What is your take on that, please? And you can unmute yourself.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And
Thank you very much.
Unmute yourself.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Actually, the word that you brought out about veteran, there's no veteran in South Sudan. There's no veteran because, yes, and I do recognize that because millions of veterans who got no part in the political or got no part in the military. So what I could accept is that all South Sudanese are all, whoever did not join the political or did not join the war, I could accept all of them, that everybody is a veteran. That's the only thing that I could put in the first place, and I do recognize that. The big point that I supposed to be in and try to put together, you guys already touched it. What I will say, the link already down there, so there's people who was asking for a link. It's already down there, so please, if you got it, you can just get in, or I will be linking it again so you guys can see it. So the big point that I will go in about this security arrangement, and also too, my heart bleed condolences to those who was being at yesterday, innocent children that was being killed yesterday. I will pass my condolences to those people. And coming to the topic, security arrangement is something that well known when we signed this peace in 2018. The members of opposition, all these members of opposition were the people who were not happy for the signing peace or for the security arrangement that need to be done. They were not, they were not certified in that peace. But the government itself was the one certified in this peace. So he was asking that we don't need any bodyguard and all this. Everybody should go to Juba peacefully with their hand. Otherwise, if someone want to go with the military, he might be having plan for something, which is totally now is being proved wrong. That the members of opposition, they went there, they really actually are in need of peace. And this is what happened. Security arrangement supposed to be done. It was the first priority than any others. Security arrangement was the first place. That in December, and I talk about this in the first beginning, in December 2018, all the team who are going to do the security arrangement land in Juba. And they were preparing for an arrangement that's supposed to be done in 2019 in June. So the government supposed to be swearing in June 2019. None of it did not happen. So come to this. What is the big problem? The big problem is that the people who got their hand in the first place into our money, especially those who involved into a corruption, since the beginning of this country called South Sudan in 2005, and test the South Sudanese pound become a big issue. And that the people today, as we talk, which is are leading by, I'm not trying to accuse nobody, but I do agree that leading by the president. because the Young Council of Elders, they try to say, oh, they are not a part of the president office. I doubt it. When I say I doubt it, he himself, a president, went to sign a peace in 2015 in Addis Ababa. They told him, do not sign it. If you sign it, we will change you. He did not sign it. Definitely, he did not sign it. He came to Juba. And when he was signing it, while he was in threat, he caught something. I caught this piece. I will sign it, and I have a reservation because it's not a Bible or a Quran. He caught the same word that I hear before. And that thing, it happened in that time. And all these are the issues that is still drawing until today. But we give this chance as a South Sudanese, although we are praying in our heart that things are not going on, but we prove, we say, okay, let's give our leaders a chance and let them drill the way this government trying to. And now we are going step by step. But guess the big issue that attached on it is that the president still have a power by using militants who are not a part of the security arrangement. Keep graduating them, and I can name them. Yes, Tuk used to be a first Tuk, and now they are announced Tuk is being threat. Matianganyor never been. We hear it in 2013. Dutkuban, we hear it in 2013. Galwang, we hear it in 2013. All these combined forces is being brought from nowhere. And if, in my own suggestion or my own view, as a South Sudanese, that I belong to South Sudan, when we declare a country in 2011, sorry, my mistake, excuse me, in 2011, there will be have something called a chief staff, defense ministers, and then a country military that is being formed in 2014 to 2015, and then kicking in 2000 what? 2019. It never kicked in for all this time until 2019, and then they say SPDF. It will be in the road. It's supposed to be kicking within that day that they declare in a country that the country have a defense force of South Sudan, but did not happen. Kiir was dwelling on his own group. I'm not trying to accuse, because he's the one who training Galwem, he's the one who training Dutkubai, he's the one who training Masianganyor. Without any recognition from chief staff, with the new chief staff who came in, lure in, and then come and kick the chief staff who were the former chief staff, which is James Garwamai. He came and kicked him out intentionally. So if you could see this, so that's the issues that need to be seen correctly, where we are heading to. And sorry, I went so far. I could be stopped from that.
No apologies. You mentioned good points there. There is no any problem at all. That is what we are expecting, right? Because all of us, we have to have a say in this thing. Thank you so much for Brother Jeremiah. Good to see you again. Before I give Jeremiah a chance, I want you guys to think about this, and then yes, I want to let you know also, today I think we're going to be within 2 hours max. So it's Easter, And I can say to Brother Jeremiah there from Australia, I think Christ is risen because it's Sunday there, I think, Sunday morning, and Christ is risen indeed. It's good to see you again. But before you ask the first question that I asked Brother Jeremiah, I just want you guys to think about, we remember before the war, SPLM, they say they're going to rule for 100 years. And we know, even though if I'm Salva Kiir myself, I think it's something that I cannot accept, because unless if SPLM have to rule by force, by iron fists, otherwise we see in all the countries, a person can go for max maybe 40 years, either they die or they got a coup, something like that, right? So for SPLM to rule for 100 years, SPLM have to do really good things. Really, think about the country, not the party members or the elites that in the party. Also, we see land grabbing. Let us combine them together. SPLM want to rule for 100 years, land grabbing, and then we see people that being locked in POCs for so many years. Who's gonna compensate those people for the years that they lost, while other people are enjoying the fruit of the country, the money from oil, from custom, they are going into different pockets that we don't know. Do you think for all these reasons, that is why we don't have a unified forces? Because if we have a unified forces, this thing will be done, right? So if there is a unified forces, if everything will be done. Do you think whoever in power, they want to implement ruling for 100 years, grabbing lands, right? Even in the cities, right? In the cities, capital cities, things like that. So that could be the reason why the security arrangement is not taking place in the right way. This is what I want you to think about it. This will be the second question. But for my brother Jeremiah, as you heard us saying that security arrangements, it has been challenged by the has been challenged by the militants that is still being empowered. Yet we see that the signatures of the peace agreement, they went there was no security arrangement and things like that. So why the militants are still turning down our country? And Mabor mentioned some names earlier. So what is your take on that? Brother Jeremiah, if you can unmute yourself. Or I can unmute you. Let me do that. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Brapile, for welcoming me again. All the board of directors, the viewers, and also those who are participating apart from me. Yeah, as you have said, really today is one of the best days according to the Christian calendar. I supposed to go to church. It is now almost 2 o'clock. but I will be participating. If the time come, I will go to church. And this is a good day, really. I hope what we are discussing on this day, I hope God
Can
will
you
prepare
increase the
us.
volume a little bit, Brother Jeremiah? We can hear you. Good. Yeah.
Are you still not hearing me?
Yeah. Keep talking,
Are you,
and then if you did something, keep talking, and then we will let you know. Yeah. But we can hear you now. Maybe because you were moving your head, something like that. If you are on the cell phone or something.
yeah,
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. West time, West time. Just was saying thank you very much for welcoming me again. All the board of directors and those who are watching. Uh, Today it is a good day because it is a Christian day, and what we are discussing this day will be blessed by God, and this is what we expect. And we felt sorry for those who lost their life in this. This year because of the crisis in our country. Let me come to the issue. Topic is about the security arrangement and the threat imposed by the military. Uh, you really brothers, what is going on now in our country? It is a making of one man. That man is the president here. As we know, anything done good by the people of South Sudan, president is appreciated for it. Only what he refuses, if he did something good, he doesn't want him to be blamed for that. Salva Kiir, professionally, is a security officer. This is what he had been doing in Sudan during Numeri. In SPLA, he was number four. He was number four in SPLA. He was in charge of the security. And now we talk about the security here, and Salva Kiir is the one in charge, and security is about safety. He knows security much than anyone. He knows it very well than anyone. So the question is why is he refusing to make everybody safe in the country? The answer is if everybody is safe in the country, he will not succeed in the way he's thinking. Now, let me try to reflect on what our brother Abel Corner said here. He said Agolek is in POC and they have gun with them in POC. That is one point. The second point he said let us stop propaganda. And the third one is that the POC is a threat, is a security threat, and government should get rid of it. In summary, what this guy has said here, Brother Abil Kona said here, this is the view of Sulfur. This is exactly, these are the reason security arrangement has not been implemented. Don't look somewhere. What is said here is not Sulfur, but this is exactly what is going on in J1. That the tribe do not know apart from them and the Sulfur. And Jim Council, this is exactly what Abdullah said here. This is exactly what are the problems of the security to be implemented. Now, what they're implementing is opposite, militant. For example, what happened? The way it organized Padang itself, let me say, before I go somewhere. Padang, they have Jejalabiat. Then they met another force called Guademai Patrol. They met another force called Abushok. These are what we call militant in Upper Nile. These are militias in Upper Nile. Their projects is handled by Salva Kiir. And if this, if security arrangement is done, which means these militias in Upper Nile are not going to be there anymore, either to integrate them into the army forces or let them go home. So what I want to say is, security issue in our country, we cannot manage to do it. It defeated Sudan even, because Sudan was the one initiating the last agreement, which led Dr. Riab to go to Juba. If that could not manage it, African Union cannot manage it. The Western world, they stand with the powerful person. For example, SPLA before was supported by Mengistu al-Maryam and Colonel Gaddafi. And then America, Western power did not want him, did not want SPLM, except the communists. What happened? When the thing changed, American, they came and they supported SPLA, and now South Sudan is the product of the United States. So America, they normally look for person who is very powerful. So what I am trying to say is a security issue in our country. It is something really, it will defeat everyone, and we cannot even get rid of it, or we cannot even solve it. You cannot. It is very clear now when you are naming the army before we have some.
Sorry, our brother maybe got knocked out. His cell phone, maybe the battery died. We will also give him a chance if he come back, put the charger on his cell phone. We have Brother Wilson. Good to see you again, Brother Wilson. Yeah, today we're not going to be really long, but Brother Wilson, you came at the good time. Yeah. So let me recap what we are talking about it again. We know that the security arrangement it's captured in the revitalized peace agreement in a good way. But of course, the detail of it is become an issue now, which Marial Benjamin say the devil is in the details. We are seeing that the key peace arrangement is not going good, but the tribal militants are being empowered rather than we focus on the unified forces, so at least our country will be in peace. What is your take on that? Why the security arrangement is not going the way it should be? And I think you can witness that few sites of unified forces was being attacked, maybe 3 or 4 of them, right? And we still have the militias forces are still being in power. What is your take on that? Wilson, please.
Yes.
Brother Jeremiah will come back to you.
Hello.
Wilson, come. Yeah. Thank you for coming.
If you guys are hearing me, let me know. It's okay. All right. Thank you. First of all, I will thanks all of you, the members of the NAL network, and thanks for the viewers who are watching. Based on my observation regarding security arrangement, there are a lot of issues. If you look outside, like we who are outside, we can see better than people who are in. For example, when people are playing the ball, football, long time ago, when you are a player, team player inside, you don't see the mistaken. But those who are watching, they will see. Security arrangement got a lot of issue. One of them is the trust with the signature of the agreement. There is no trust. That's one thing that I see. Second to that, it's the confusion of the both forces. A lot of defection, either from the government coming back to the IO or from the IO going back to the government, and later they will cause fight to themselves. That's another problem that could bring a delay. The other thing too, both government and rebel, it seemed like they only select a few unit to went to the training camp, but majority of both sides, if you look at them, they never went to the containment or the training camp. If you see the sector one of Upper Nile, where is under Johnson Wulong with his Agulek forces, they are not in the training camp. And you look some of the government, as we heard, that those who are in Luri and all this, they are not even in training camps. So it looked like both the signature of the agreement have their own observing posts. But with the due pressure and all these things, they can still do it. But one other problem, two problems that I observe, another two problems. One of them, the whole rebel forces, they come with a huge rank that cannot be fit from nowhere in military arrangement. Yani لو لقيت رتبة صغير ممكن بكون كابتن. So جماعة كله قال almost 15 general to this is another thing too, another problem that the government are saying, wait a minute, if we integrate you with all these ranks, where the army rank will go. So they were told.
I don't think that the rank was an issue, because what could happen? Yes, they came with the rank. If you has been watching South Sudan lately, of course, if you look at all those generals and you know where are they from, before this is before the rebel even get in, you can see the rank. Even me, I try to look, squeeze my eyes in between to see a lower rank. It's very hard to see. But anyway, it's something happening in all South Sudan. But this is what I'm trying to say here.
Can I put my point?
Yeah, you will do it. But I like the two points. But the high rank is not an issue, because you can say, guys, no, you go reorganize this thing. This is too much. Like it's very simple to say, because I know Garud might told somebody like that before, and say, come on, man, this is a high rank, please, we cannot accept you. So they went back and they rearranged that, and they give him a new list. I know that for sure. So anyway, but go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So the organization of the SPLA, SPLM have experience with those integrated forces. It started from Gordon Kong when he came 1987 with his forces. It's come with the same ranks. But they were told to go and rearrange the ranks. By then, the SPLA, by then, the bigger rank was right, Zolindu Arba Debur. And then the captain will be Guide Surya, and then Mulazimin Sanin Bukun guided for sale. But what happened in this time now of the rebellion, it's really very messed up. That another things. The rank issue is a problem. They were told to go, especially Angelina were told, go and rearrange your lease, because we know in the military that there is a system. Is a fasila طبعا بيجا في فصائل نقدوها فصيلة ممكن يكون 30 لكن زمان كان 50. So is a if the fasila is 30 بكون عنده شنو عنده شاويج واحد بكون عنده ضابط واحد. This has become a big issue because the whole rebel army are all ranks. Second to that is the weapon. Because they were fighting with the government. Government know them that they took a lot of the government weapon, especially in Pentu, when there was a Division 6 or Division 4, I mean Division 4, when people were in war of Ijlik. So the Pentu was the headquarter of the all equipment of the entire the SPLA. That a lot of tanks and guns all were taken by the rebel of Riek Machar under
I think
Commander.
that you saw them; they were burned down, man.
Oh no, yeah, they burned the tanks, but they took the gun because they don't have operators. Yeah, I can agree with that, but they took the gun. Come to the Upper Nile, the Kaldagi, and were the headquarters there in the region of Upper Nile. There were a lot of guns in that area. They were all taken by the rebel. You go to Bor, were headed by Comrade Gadet. He was a division commander. The whole weapon that were the government fighting with Yao Yao. There were a lot of weapon equipment were there. So Gadet took them. Now the question, government will come, okay, you are coming to the Medan. And what happened always when you have integrated forces with agreement, lazim يكون في تسليم وتسليم. عاسلا بتاعه ده من جده مدرود دخل في مخزن ويعمل له ريجستر كله in order to get a new gun. But if you went and mobilize the other group and bring them in a Medan in order to get a gun, I don't think there will be any government will accept that. When we went in during Bita peace agreement, Bita 05, we have the so-called JIU. The SPLA went with their own weapon. They never asked Bashir that give us weapon. So when integration done in the eastern of Sudan, the SPLA come with their weapon, their rank is arranged, and then the government of Sudan bring their forces. And then they combine them to be JIU, which we call now they need unified forces. So the other problem is the gun issue. A lot of them came, the training came, they left their gun somewhere, and now they expect the government.
No, because of the peace agreement say that. Did you look at those articles? They say they shouldn't come. They shouldn't come to the training site with their weapon.
Oh yeah, it's not about peace agreement.
Oh, okay.
In a military in a military rule, you cannot come to the training with a gun.
Yeah, because the reason why I say that, because you try to make it as an issue.
Oh, that's a big issue. They are asking gun, the rebel now, the unified forces, they need Kagi. Mumkin dum Kagi, lakin they are asking gun, which is not going to be accepted by the government. So these are my few observations into delaying a security arrangement. You cannot arm somebody, you never know tomorrow will turn against you.
I got a question. I got a question of the issue of the gun.
Yeah.
Why none of the officials say, even Salva Kiir himself didn't say, why you guys are asking for a gun? Bring your guns, right, and get graduated with it. No, I just heard it from you. No one mentioned that. Hey, we're not going to give you guns because you have guns.
Yeah, I want to interject something so Wilson can, because here is very important. We're talking. We're not talking in the street. We're talking about important thing, constitutional debate. So when we talk about the peace, we have to use the article. Which article is saying what? This is why we are here. So if you want to talk in your own way, that is okay. But if you want to talk about the document of the peace, you need to point out which one is not working and why. So this is what I want to say. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much. As I know Jeremiah is back, but I asked you a question, Wilson. Maybe you can answer it, and then I will go to Jeremiah.
Let me answer. We need to be careful about our language. And this is the problem of the members of the IO. They think that this document called peace agreement is Quran or Bible. But a lot of them are not inside that one, to be honest with you. A lot, that's why they say security arrangement is not been detailing here. There will be unified forces, then they will be hit by this and that. Also, the governorship that we are talking today, what the state should be given to what, it was not there in document. So a lot of things were left out. So if we stick on the document, then we cannot find out the problem. And that's why I bring my observation, what I see as a problem. These are problems. If you don't see them, that's our problem. They were being asked to bring their guns, to be graduated with their gun. They are being asked to rearrange their ranks and then bring them in a military order, where Pasila has known who will head the Pasila, who will head the Syria. These things are not there. So these are my observation. Another things, if we just keep talking about this document, a lot of things are not there. And that's why now you see a lot of negotiation has been done in Juba. They don't go nowhere. If they want to go to repair back to the peace agreement document, you will find those things, they are not there. So they have to establish a new committee with both partners who signed the peace. Now, the other thing you are talking about militias, I mean, they call tribal militia or whatever. What is the other one?
The tribal militias are being empowered, yeah, and getting graduated even at the head of the unified forces.
Yeah, I have a correction for that one too. You know, when you come as a rebel and you try to label the people or the government that was in the country as a government, try to call their forces militia. And this is another problem too. I heard Brother Wall talk before. There are another thing that people talk about, Gelwing, Matianganyor. Gelwing, for example, I can give you the name Gelwing. It's not in Upper Nile, but it's in Barkazal. Gelwing, these are the people you see fight themselves in Lake State and Chuebet. These are the pure Nasbita Abagar, because they brought their name when Maralin used to come and took the Abagar. Now they formed themselves to have a post that the word wing, you know, in Dinga is a cow. Gil is to protect cow. So this word gil wing mean protect your cows. So it's nothing to do with the SPLA forces or the government forces. This thing I can dismiss it from today, according to my Matianganyor. Yes, Matianganyor is the name of the unit. Like before, we have more, and within the more you will have Katab Fiasam Bitao. So Matianganyor were not just because of Riek Machar, it was established during its time. So
and I remember that time when General Comcom went to them and say that you guys now, you are not militias anymore. You guys are going to be armed forces, if you remember that. So they were started as a militias, but yes, to fight in Bleach area.
And anyway, I don't know how do you we can have a problem of the language, because the way you will define militia and the way you will find the organized forces, it will be totally different. So let me there is nobody. Is it my side? There is echo. Okay.
Sorry, I left mine open. Go ahead.
Okay. So there is no tribal militia has been power. Each tribe are powering themselves to wherever they go. Some went to Jalaba, they get their gun from the Umar al-Bashir. Some went to Ethiopia, they get their gun. Those who think they are part of the government, they get their gun from the government. So if you see what give power to the tribal militia is kind of, there is no protection from either from the government or from the rebel. So the tribes now are getting gun in their own way to protect themselves, whether whether okay, are you talking to me, Mr. Well? You did your hand like that, right? You mute yourself. Unmute yourself. Unmute. Okay.
I need a permission from the host. That's why I'm not talking to you. I need a permission from the host. So
Okay. So the accusation from my brother Jeremiah that Padang have Abishok, have Guadabitrol and all these. Abishok is a government division. It's not a militia. If you hear where Abishok is not just established during this, Abishok is the one of the battalion within the Mormor division. So Abishok is one of the Katiba Zaman without Mormor division. For that Abishok who are in Malakal or anywhere in Afrinal, they are a government forces. They get even solid from the government. Guade Bitrol that he was talking about, it is under government too, because this government want to protect his patrol. So whether he paid them or they are voluntarily, I don't know. These are the facts. Like into Gulgal Padang into White Army, that's not true, my brother. Mr. What is it? Jeremiah.
Yeah. Anyway,
that is not true.
yeah.
So the tribal militias are really very threatened. Especially we in Aprinal, the Padang community become very vulnerable group who have been attacked twice by Jekany this January and February because they knew that we don't have a gun. That's why they came and attacked us and want to take our cow. The only people that cannot attack themselves is we ourselves, Padang, don't raise ourselves. Our cousin from the West Bank too, they don't take our cow. So, but the issue now in Aprinal, the issue threat is the White Army from the Jikany Nuer. These are very threat to the peace in Aprinal. That's what I know so far.
Who do you mean your brother from the West Bank?
Thank you. Anyway, there is few things that the accusation that was said by Wilson there. Somebody will answer you. But sometimes it's good to be honest a little bit. I never heard about people from Jikany coming to raid cows in Upper Nile. But hey, that is what you make, and somebody will answer you. But the truth is not that. We know Jikany, maybe when they came, is just because they have people got killed in Apadang areas, and they heard that. The same thing when they heard people get killed in Juba, and then they came. Because they don't see that they have enough. A lot of people were being killed, and for that reason, the only thing now maybe Padang need to do is really don't play the victim, but you have to acknowledge that you guys kill some Nuer people in your areas, and for that reason, people come to revenge. But it's not our place here to talk about that, but there is a lot of things going on, and Padang. I don't want to make the show is about Padang and things like that, but I think it's only Padang will make the peace come in Upper Nile, but not by the barrel of gun, but by really be a brother and a sister like what we have before. But now the agenda that Padang has right now is causing us a problem. And it's up to you, Padang, till you realize that you guys are doing something wrong. It never been there before. So for what reason, you guys know. But it's you guys will resolve that because you guys are not the victim. People are in PCO in Malacca right now.
Let me answer.
They cannot go. I can show you the video that was done by one of the elder in Malakal and the young boy, and he said,
I want to answer your
Upper Nile. will be a war. So I will show you that video one day.
Yeah.
But Mabur, you keep pointing your hand out, and I have Jeremiah here with me. He came back, and also I'm looking at the time because I say that we're supposed to finish within 2 hours. But
give me 1 minute to respond to what you say. It's not
well,
true.
it's not going to be argued between me and you.
No.
Right?
There is
other people here have to.
I want to correct it.
Wilson, I give you enough time, brother.
Okay.
So let
I
other
think
people.
you are feared to get the
No, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid because I know we're going to talk today. We're going to talk tomorrow, and I want you to come every time. You and Abel Kohn, I love you guys so much. It's make this discussion really good so people can understand. So thank you. But Mabur, you keep giving us time to come out before I go to Jeremiah.
I'm just trying to put something here because our brother Wilson, yes, you might be trying to quote something. Let me try to say this. The first priority that I want to say, Dukubany, we never have a Minmo or a Katiba within the SPLM back then. There's no Katiba like that. Okay, that's the one thing. And then come to Masiang Anyor, all this was being come and create somewhere here. That's the one thing. That's in leave about Gulweng. Okay, Gulweng, let it be like White Army. Okay, so leave that. Come to Apernal. Hey, if you try to play victim, Brother Wilson, in-laws, please don't try to play victim here. The person that need to be blamed is the current deputy governor. Is the one that was being told by Mr. That I'm going to Malacan, and he refused because he was in a bank robbery. He refused to let this guy go, and that's what it started the clashes between Upper Down and White Army. Okay, that's 2013. If you don't know that, that was the big problem there, because the current deputy governor used to be a commissioner in Baliet. Let's be frank here. Okay, come to White Army. White Army is the White Army. They went there to protect their own people that was being killed. They just tried to rescue their people. Okay, so come to Abu Shok. Abu Shok, if Abu Shok is still existing today, how many of them should be? If you guys claim to be at war within Apernal during when, because Abu Shok used to be only one. It's not a Minmo, it's a Katiba Abu Shok, not Minmo Abu Shok. Okay, so if
you are trying to say Abu Shok, right? It was a Katiba, but
it's not a Katiba.
No, it's a Katiba. But was in the war, you think that no much left from them. So, but now we still hearing about Abu Shok in Upper Nile or guarding the oil area, things like that. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. So if Abu Shok is still existing, has 1,000. So where is this Abu Shok used to be?
Okay.
And I know only 1,000 from Abu Shok. Let's be realistic here, guys. We need to come as the people of Apernalian. That's the only thing that will give us a time free for ourselves. I'm not trying to ignore the rest of Bargadal and Equatorian, but the issue is ourselves here, we the people of Apernal. If we keep misleading outside from our homeland as the greater Apernal, peace will never come. And I know what is going on in Apernal. You guys will be given a rope that you guys have to hold that rope, because the issue of 32 state that you guys want that 32 state badly, but you guys will never get that. That's a dream.
So thank you, Mabor. Your point taken. Really, I need to go back to Jeremiah here. He was cut off, and I want to give him his chance to finish his remarks there. Jeremiah, if you are there, can you unmute yourself? Okay, I think Jeremiah is not there. So you guys, you heard me raise the second question. Please, can I? What? Oh, Jeremiah. Okay, you are there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead then.
Yeah. Okay. Let me summarize what I had said before. What I said, it was like what Abel Conrad said here. These are exactly what is going on in J1, and this is the plan of Padang and Self-Care. When they say Agolek is in POC now with guns, what does it mean? You think about it. Agolek is the forces of IO. And again, the same person said POC is a threat, is a security threat, and government should get rid of it. What do they mean here? And now they said again here, what we are talking about here, security arrangements and threat posed by the militants, they call it propaganda. Which means here now we did not agree. We are divided. We have to tell the truth. We are divided now. And we believe, we talk about the security, we talk about life, safety. Why some South Sudanese are obstacle, to make everybody safe in the country? What is behind it? What is behind this? What is behind this is just about land grabbing, because I do believe Denga is like another tribe. But what united Denga now is land grabbing. If land grabbing is stopped,
so,
Denga
brother
will never
Jeremiah,
be together.
Yeah, brother Jeremiah, I like, but that was the second question. I think we will be having only these two questions today, and go. I just want you to wrap up just with the first one. I know you mentioned things about what Abelkon was been saying. Even me, he is telling me things here, right? And he said that. If you think Padang is the problem, just give us our administrative area and go. I think I said it again and again and again. My dad said before, if we are not careful, we will get our independence. But if we are not careful, we will divide South Sudan into small countries. So I think that is where we are heading. As you just mentioned now, Jeremiah, look, even we come here just to discuss and we still disagree, right? So there is no even will for us to reconcile, right? And to say the truth, right? So it's an issue, but we have to talk about it till, people down there, they will know, what? There is something going on. And they have to really know exactly what the politicians are doing, right? We are not politicians, so I mean the politician in Juba. What are they doing? So that's why. Let me come to my second question. The SPLM say we're going to rule for 100 years, and there is land grabbing taking place. Right? People are accusing people in POC that are a threat. Threat to who? Right? because we know that the UN, anyone run there with their gun, UN ask them, put your gun down, because they don't want somebody also to have a gun inside there. They don't know you. They don't know which tribe you are. You could go there and kill the people that they try to protect. So we heard, and I tell you, the incident when happened in 2013 in Malakal, my mom, my sister, they were there. They went there for Christmas, and they see those who ran, and they have arms, right? And they were actually part of the division. It's a son of other tribe that they feel that they were being getting killed, and they have to leave their guns by the door. Ask UN, where is the guns of those people, right? So these are reality. There is eyewitness to those things that are happening. But is it really the security arrangement not being implemented fully? Is it because of the SPLM want to rule for 100 years, or because of the land grabbing that are happening all over South Sudan? I don't want it, guys, when we come and we say, what we bring it to Upper Nile thing. But there is other land grabbing happen, right? Yes, there is a dispute in Malakal about Malakal, but there is other people tribes that are crying that their land has been grabbed in Equatoria and everywhere in South Sudan. So is it because of all this, right? That is why the security arrangement is not going in that place. I know there is, as Wilson said earlier, there is an issue of trust, okay? But trust, you have to work on it, right? The trust is not going to come to you in a plate. It's something that you have to work it out, right? They have to work it out. The signatories, they came to Juba with no guns, with no army, right? So is that not people also you can trust? Because if somebody came to you bare hand, the only thing hope he has is the trust that you meant that to implement that peace agreement in letter and spirit, right? So this is the issue. I know, Brother Peter, you came a little bit late, and with this question, I will give 5 minutes, and then, guys, we will wrap up later on. Even I know I like to ask what will be the way out, but I will ask it anyway, regardless, even though I know it seems to be we are beating a dead horse and we are in a dead end. We need to make a U-turn or change 180 degree to go back to the truth and reality. So, Brother Peter, you came a little bit late, but you heard us and things like that. I don't know. This second question will start with you, but even you can touch a little bit about the security arrangement and why there is still militias and militants are being empowered. Because when I call them, because they are not part of the SSPDF anymore, the militias that we are talking about. Okay, Peter. Let me unmute you.
Yes. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay, let me check if you mute me. All right, you hear me? All right, so thank you for having me. First of all, brother, if you could brief me a little bit. Okay, right here I can read the topic. Security arrangement posed by ethnic militant. Okay. If that's a topic, I will go ahead and comment. So you want me to start it from what will be the way out? Well, let me.
No. I want you to start. You get that question, you can touch a little bit about the security arrangement and the challenge that posed by ethnic militants. But the question was, is it because of the comment that was said by SPLM that they're going to rule for 100 years, and there is a land grabbing that is happening, and there is a people that was locked down, the native of the country was being locked down in their own country for more than 7 years, right?
All right.
So is it because of that the security arrangement is not taking place in the right way?
Well, let me, I'm going to touch the point that you have said, the statement that was made by the members of SPLM in a way that they envisioned to rule South Sudan for 100 years. And also I'm going to talk about secure arrangement and all different militants. And also I will come up to the conclusion what I think should be the solution.
Leave it when I give you the other 2 minutes later on.
Yes.
Yeah, what will be the way out? Leave the way out, leave it out to the till I ask again. But now you have few minutes. Let me give you 7 minutes if you can. I know you're a good lecturer. You can manage it. Okay.
I will try to summarize it and make it very simple and make it very short. Let me begin with security arrangement. And then security arrangement. All of us, we know the statement that was made back when the revitalized peace agreement was negotiated in Addis Ababa, before even it was transferred to Khartoum. When his spokesperson, Makwele, said, President said he does not want to work with Riek Machar. Majority of people start to blame Makwele, and I've said it. Makwele was the spokesperson for the government. It was not the statement that come from Makwele. The mistake that we all as South Sudanese we are making, we are forcing people who don't want to work together. We're saying, let them go back to their share, while both of them cannot trust each other and do not want to work together. But the IGAD country fought them, included for them to work together. And that's one of the challenges that facing security arrangement. All of us, we are aware of CPA when it was negotiated. Garang, if he was told then, do not bring your army. Come by yourself, and we're going to finish the rest. Garang was in Nairobi then until the peace agreement detail was finalized. Then he flew to Khartoum. Riek Machar decided, as soon as he realized that he got assurance he's going to be restored back to his position, he didn't care about the implementation of security arrangement. The first thing, if I were the chairman of IO, the first thing that would have been my first priority to want to make sure the security arrangement is implemented. Because the guarantee of implementation of the peace is security arrangement. Riek Machar decided that was not a priority for him. Decided to run to Juba. Had he sat in Khartoum, he decided to stay there and urged IGAD to put pressure on implementation. Security arrangement would have been done, 2 years ago. Right now, we're reaching to the end of transitional period without any security arrangement. So for me, a simple thing that I can say, there is no peace in Juba. When you have the chairman of IO, he's in Juba, and then you have the army of IO are outside. That is completely, this is not the way that you do peace. When you talk about the different group of armed, or we call them militants, these things are happening because there is no functioning system of the government in South Sudan. We don't have the government. For me, I define South Sudan as a failed state where each community organized themselves, protected their own rights. You have seen some of the things that happen. How in the world you are allowing civilians to terrorize each other? These groups were organized and attack others, and government is doing nothing. That is a sign. But the government of South Sudan becomes instigator of violence by providing guns as what it happened in instead of Jonglei. When Morley was harmed by the government of Salva Kiir to fight, Jiang, Bor, and Nuer, Jonglei state. So for me, simply, there is no government in South Sudan. And soon South Sudan will disintegrate it into a tribal group will protect themselves because there is no functioning system of the government. That is my own opinion. You know, anyone has a right, whether you want to differ with me or not. I don't think that Riek Machar in South Sudan and Salva Kiir would implement CPA, not CPA, revitalized peace agreement. If you see, according to the way that it was written, if it is implemented, that would give balance between an IO and IG. And that would actually give threat to Salva Kiir. I keep telling SPLM, IO die harder. You need to blame your chairman of failure of this peace. At his stick, it was actually written in a paper of IO, because according to the agreement, SPLM IO will have 25,000 troops, and the government will have 25,000 troops, and then you amalgamate it with South Sudan Armed Forces. If that was done, and according to the way it was written, that completely revitalized peace agreement would be implemented. Not because you have the balance of military power, but Riek Machar decided right into Juba and take over. How can you trust Salva Kiir? In 2016, Riek went to Juba. What happened? Then it was the same Salva Kiir that went and wanted to kill him. So you cannot make the mistake 2 times and hoping things will change, and you're dealing with the same person. So to give you a very simple answer, there is no peace in South Sudan. And I don't even believe that Riek and Salva will bring peace. That's just what I think. When it comes to the question of the reason why we have militants, they are there to protect their own community because the government allow those communities to fight. President made it very clear when he was speaking. He said, if you fight each other, I'm not going to send my army. He actually gave okay. And what will happen? It didn't even take 2 weeks. The incident in Northern Afanal that did happen because the government allowed that to happen. He actually said it's okay to fight. We live in the Western world. If our government in the West, I and Comrade World and Wilson, we live in the United States. If the United States government said, okay, if you want to fight, guys, we're not going to send police, you will see a lot of chaos. So I blame the absence of the government that what put us in the situation that we are in. So you're not going to see peace. It doesn't matter how nice we suggest things. Nobody would be able to do it there. The first priority, we as the diaspora, because in my understanding, there's no government. 3 of you were in old Sudan. Whether you were young, you were in school, your parent worked for the government. The insecurity that we have in South Sudan right now was not there. You know, all Afanals live in the same Milakal town. Dinka, Nuer, Sholok, Maban, and Anyuak live in the state of Afanal. We never had, when it used to be called province, we never had this issue. This is a one side to know somebody is instigating this violence, and it is the leadership of the SPLA, that led by Riek Machar and Salva Kiir, that put us in this situation. The mistake that people are making, to look at the failure of Salva Kiir as all Dinka has failed, it is totally, completely wrong. We should judge people based on individual, but not community. So when you generalize in the whole GM, the mistake of one person, it is wrong. That actually helps Salva recruited GM to be on his side.
But
I don't want.
Brother Peter, what confused people when you see also there is something called Young Council of Elder that also working with Salva Kiir side by side, even though they came recently and they tried to deny that. That put a confusion. Yes, I do agree with you. We shouldn't say, oh, all the young they fail or something like that. But we see a lot of a number supporting Salva Kiir, supporting Young Council of Elders on the atrocities that are taking place in the country, which your family is affected, my family is affected, and then when one of them try to say the truth, you will see the rest of the tribe attacking that person like crazy. So that is where it's become very slim, really, to say, okay, where are we now, right? So that's why sometimes who can generalize, I would say that is his view. But even though I do agree with you, yes, we shouldn't generalize everything. But there is a lot of confusion there when you will find a system, it never happened in the world, being running the system of governance side by side with the elder of a tribe.
Well, yes, I think at that point you have said, and I did address it before the show that I was a guest. Yes, we don't have the system in South Sudan. It's very confusing because Riek and Salva, when they took over from John Garang, they failed to establish a system of the government that would define the role of every department within the government. For me, the way that I look Young Council of Elders, I look them as the lobbyists that have organized themselves to lobbyists on behalf of their own community and their own interests. So for that, they are very smart. I would blame the person whom I had voted for in 2009, the person who has a title as president of South Sudan. Why would he listening to the lobbyists? The West, and we all live in the West. And the system of the government of the West is based on the lobbyists. You hire lobbyists to go and lobby on, they organize themselves, the lobbyists organize themselves to go and lobby. So the Young Council of Elders, former Old Sudan officials, organize themselves. They think that's the only way they can, convince Salva if they come together in that way. All this blaming goes to who? To Salva Kiir Mayardit, who decided to abandoning South Sudan Legislative Assembly and worked with the Tribal Council of Elders. That is the right blame. I would put blaming on Salva Kiir. That's the only point that I can touch.
Yeah. Brother Peter, I think we went over 7 minutes already, and it's still the rest want to also give their take on the last question that I asked about the statement that was made, and I think you make your point on that one, that SPLM in the past they say that they're going to rule for 100 years, and then there is a land grabbing taking place around all South Sudan, and there is people that are held hostage in their own country. So that could be the reason why the peace, the security arrangement is not being implemented in letter and spirit. So I know my brother Abelkon, you came a little bit late, and I just want to give everybody maybe 3 minutes to answer this last question, and maybe I will come for another round, give you 1 minute, to just tell me what will be the way out. And Abelkon, I think you say your way out earlier. You take everything to Upper Nile. Come on, brother. Why you were chatting on the side there? Come early so we can exhaust our issue, and then instead of you fighting us on the sidebar there, man. Come on, man. We love you, right?
Peter, Pell.
Yeah.
But if everybody new coming and then we keep giving the people who are new. What about people who are sleeping in the?
No, don't sleep. So I'm coming to you guys now. Abel,
Yeah.
Abel, he will get his 3 minute later on, not now. So,
let,
the
let,
Otto,
no,
what do you think about?
Can
Yeah,
you
go
let me
ahead.
finish? Because there was a thing that I wrote down.
Then Peter, can I give you 1 minute?
Yes, I'm
Please.
going to, because I did not talk about the SPLM, because you asked me a question.
Yeah,
SPLM, you said SPLM say they want to rule for 100 years. You asked me for land grabbing, and you said what will be the way out. Let me summarize it in 1 minute.
The way out, we'll leave it later.
Yeah,
Okay.
I might leave out because I'm going to a different
Oh,
show.
okay. Yeah.
There's a fundraising show that I'm going to contribute. So SPLM, I think it was an individual statement made. I don't think there is no policy within the SPLM manifesto saying that we will rule. I'm SPLM. I was SPLA, but now I'm SPLM. There's no policy in our book saying that we will rule South Sudan for 100 years. I will not even put it in discussion.
But you guys say it in numbers of occasion.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
When you see some repeats things several times,
you will
start believing it, right? And everybody around you will start believing it.
Yeah, let me finish my 1 minute.
Perfect. Okay.
Let me finish my 1 minute. You can. When it comes to the question land grabbing, when you live in a country where there's no law, there's no justice, a commander can go and grab the land with his bodyguard. And whenever we establish the government for people of South Sudan, there will be no land grabbing. As I said, land grabbing is happening because we don't have the law. We don't have the judicial system where you can go. And the symbol that we have in Juba, it doesn't work. There's nothing working. How do you solve this problem? Before, as I said, before South Sudan disintegrated into a small tribal nation, we need to remove Riek and Sulfur. That's the only solution to South Sudan. I'm not going to back up on my statement. I think both of them need to go. We need to have the interim leader. Person was not in this mess. Because I cannot trust Salva Kiir to come and lecture me about peace. A person who killed innocent people. The same thing Riek Machar. Riek did the same thing. Nobody will listen to them. It's the time for them to leave. Let's have an interim leader. If I become the president today, the issue of Apanal, Yang Padang will not be discussed. Let me be frankly speaking to you. I was in the SPLA in 1991. I knew some of the horrible things that were done to Yang Padang. When people are complaining because a lot of things were done to them, the only thing that I cannot comment was what happened in 2013 because I was in the United States. We want to make sure that we need to treat our fellow citizens with the right and dignity and equal, with respect. So for that to happen, let Riek and Sulfur go. Only new leader that would move South Sudan forward. Otherwise, you guys will see something that you have not seen. Because right now, the division is started in Baragada right now. You see people are, there's a lot of lobby. Each and every individual want to get that position. So let us come together and put them to go. That's the only thing we will see peace in South Sudan. I yield my time. I think I'm going to be following you. I will log out and follow the rest. If there's anybody want to ask me a question before I log out, you can ask me.
The only thing that I can say, you can sign out, but you are welcome at any time. And if we have any question, we reserve them for another day when you show up again. Okay.
I will answer your last word.
Okay. Let me give everybody 3 minutes, please, about that, because some of us have some answers ready already. 3 minutes for the last question that I asked. Brother Otto, SPLM make a statement to rule for 100 years, and land grabbing taking place, people locked down in POC. So what is it? That could be the main reason for the security arrangement not taking place in the right place.
Thank you. I think the question is clear. When they say they want to rule for 100 years, I think it's not the SPLM who say that, but the planner, those who plan something against people of Southern Sudan. That's what they say. They want to rule for 100 years. So to be able to do that, I think you can see now, the money was distributed to certain people, gun, militias, all those is going on. And I'm quite sure General Salva Kiir is happy because the agenda is well planned and is going very well for them. So 100 years they talk about, it's not because he want to rule people of Southern Sudan, but they want to pass their agenda. And I think Southern Sudan, they can see it now. The dictatorship is clear. Even 2 days ago or yesterday, he introduced his son to people of Southern Sudan to see. He's next president, I think, and we need to be prepared, and we have to respect him. So very clear, everything is clear. That's 100 years they're talking about. So when he leave, he will leave it to son, or he will leave it to close to him, whoever is there now. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is this: the beneficiary of all this plan is a certain people like Apadang. They're taking other people's land. And if you look at the map a couple of days ago, there is a map, I just laughing on it. They make there is a land for Shuluk, and there is a small map coming. That one is going to be for Apadang, so they can be able to bring their brothers from different area to be in that area also. But also there is still, they have something called Apadang, but Akogo, which is Dinjol. And those of Valiant, they still have a big space behind there. But around the river, from the other side, eastern side, they want to make something called Apadang. So they can have security, and Apadang, I think it's going to be like a militia, so they can protect those who are behind there, so there are people that can live in peace. So this is the plan from Salva Kiir, and this is the plan that is taking it as the advantages of what's going on in Southern Sudan. To the last point, which is okay, coming to the last point, which is why we don't have a peace, right?
The security arrangement not being implemented, do you think that could be for those reasons? But I think you gave your answer already.
Okay. So, but there's the last point you said, land grabbing and
it's all combined together was in the same question.
Okay.
Because you mentioned something about the land grabbing already in Upper Nile, right? Even though
I meant some, but I'm still. Let me finish my 3 minutes. Okay, let me finish my 3 minutes, please. So
it's already done your 3 minutes, but anyway, yeah, go ahead.
So, let me be trying to be honest to ourselves. 100 years they're talking about. It's not the SPLM. Even you look at the SPLM, all of us, nobody in Southern Sudan, they didn't lose their life. So SPLA is not a problem, but the problem with the one person who we trust and we give him the privilege to lead the people, that's what give us the chaos today, which is Salva Kiir. But anyway, overall, we see everything. Document, video, all of this is there. So what that mean? Southern Sudan is not going to be stable for 100 years until those agenda must be passed. And thank you.
Thank you. So you phrase it now differently. I hope we shouldn't take 100 years. The next generation, I think they will understand better with the mess that we put ourselves into. I know, William, you're waiting But let me give a chance to Wilson. Abel, I will get to you later. You come late, I have to punish you today. So, so Wilson,
I
what do you think?
William was about to talk. He's been there before me.
Who? Abel?
William. You can give it to William.
No, the moderator will give a chance to you, Red. You can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for that.
All right. What was the question again? You say?
I think even though it's just I need to know your thoughts, guys. I know people are fighting on the sidebar here and things like that. But do you think? I know you mentioned the issue of trust and the difficulties that implementing the security arrangement and things like that. You have your own reason. I don't want it to be repetitive, but simply you can deny it in one word. You can say no. Do you think when SPLM they say that they're going to rule for 100 years and there is a land grabbing taking place in the whole South Sudan? Please don't bring it to Upper Nile and Upper Dang and Malakal and all these things. We know what is happening there, right? And you guys have the one to resolve it. But anyway, or in case of Abelkoni, we're saying let's go to court. That is, but do you think what is happening in South Sudan with the SPLM want to rule for 100 years? Do you think that is why they don't want to implement the security arrangement in letter and spirit? Because if that one was done, there will be election taking place, and there is a chance that maybe SPLM in government may not come to power if we go by voting.
Yeah. Anyway,
Please you take on that.
Yeah, I think this is our problem. Sometimes we don't differentiate the Wilson opinion and the facts. I believe, like Peter said before, it may be one individual opinion who say that, but we cannot take it as a whole. SPLM have a plan of that. If it is something planned by the party, then the secretary of the party will come out and read it as something written. So that statement, I will not agree with it. It could be an opinion, not a facts. And then SPLM don't want to, we mix things up here because they think that the land grabbing because SPLM want to rule 100 years and all these things. I don't think so. The land grabbing, it is we in the media are making really this as a drama to beat. But if you go actually to ask people which land was grabbed and who grabbed who land, I don't think that will be the reality on the ground. Now, you try to ban us from bring Upper Nile or Upper Dang, but one of my brother already mentioned before that the beneficiary of this planning is Jiang Padang. Brother Uto, Naira Uto, yes. So we are not beneficiary of anything, my brother. We all the same, you know. In this war, we are all suffering. And like I say before, some they may think we are playing victim, but we are the real victim. Uloin come with baburat bitao damar fada ankulu. Katel nas fil county bitai fi malut natal katelu babur lisa pitara balbar. Am I playing victim while there are video, there are everything? No, that's the reality. Ya jamaa kalimane lifudor. The two attacks came in this Charwad Charinende. It is the facts. And not just a Talufi Paloide, the Badma attacked by Jack and they took the cow and the youth went after them and bring the cow and killed some of the rebel and some of them ran to Paloy. Then they were followed and killed there. And then the other attack. So we are the victim. We are not playing the victim. We never went to Jekanyeri to go and attack people like Gaibul went to Pren last time. We really are different from the other group, whether from the other Dinka or from the other. We are more better aware that if we want to wage a war, we got to plan it, not just randomly. And we don't take people cow. Even Arab color used to come with us to to come and grazing during the dry season, we don't take their cows. They are the one who will take our cow. They will take all this. For these are the facts. So anytime what I will suggest you the null, the reason why members of the Padang are not going to show up, it seems like sometimes you guys gang up against Padang. And that's the reality that peace is not going to come. We see like 3 tribes, Nuer and Shuluk and Maban, they are now team up because the Dinka have been hit because of Kir. Now they don't see the other Dinka victim who have their own right. They already just, it's a Dinkawi anyway. Fajadel Mabijibu Salam. Even net bitakum de, some of us sometimes we like to come and debate. Lakin when we see you guys gang up and try to not to see our right too, it doesn't make sense, and it will scare a lot of people away from this show. And again, you guys are doing great, but the Apernal thing is not going to go away. Seeing these 3 tribes who are involved in this issue came together, unless we bring another South Sudanese, and they will still taking a side too, because the old tribe they think that they were a song been singing all this time. 6 to 3 again is one tribe.
It seems like you're already judging yourself there.
No, I'm not judging. I am telling the fact that been said.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you. That's all I can say. And,
you're welcome. You're welcome. You know, don't be shy, guys. Let us come. Let us talk. As long we are not pointing guns to ourselves and shooting ourselves. Talking is talk, right? Let us just talk. No problem at all. It's just because there is an issue that is happening there, and every one of us seeing it from a different angle, and I hope one day we will come to a solution. My brother William, what is your take, please? I know you has been waiting patiently, but yeah, take your chance now. Your 3 minutes.
Yeah, thank you, Pell, and all the people who have contributed. I think you should mute yourself, Pell.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So going back a little bit to what Brother Wilson was saying, I think if we have to be really honest in what we are talking, especially when we are coming to talk about the peace, we have a document. And that is our problem. We as the people of Southern Sudan. We fought a war with the Jalab. The war between Southern Sudan and Northern Sudan, it has been the longest war running on the Earth planet. You know, it has been so complicated. We complicating it because we don't know what exactly how to address our issues. You know, until John Dunford came. Thank God that 9/11 come, and then 2 American embassy has been coordinatedly exploded exploded in East Africa. That's why America thought of us to help us. But if not, the war could continue until we all die and the other generation come, because we complicate things. And this is what we are seeing now when we are talking about clear things. We don't know what our constitution are saying. We don't know what we sign. And so it's better, especially we have people who are listening now, you know, who are just trying to learn, you know. I hate when America turn against itself, Democrat and Republican. I love to watch CNN. I moved to CNN because when you see Democrat taking a microphone, he's not saying the truth. And the same thing Republican. But the people throughout the world, when they tune in, they just need to learn how they solve the problem. Until this trauma has gone, and then now they become people talking now. We should be more focusing about point. When we talk about the peace, as Wilson said, that there is what. We need to point out because we have a people who are helping us. If we go back tomorrow to report that the peace is not going ahead, we are going to point out this article has been violated and we need it to be fixed. I think that is what we are looking for because we have to go back. This peace needs to go ahead. And of course, there are people who are peace spoilers. We cannot stop them. They can do their best to do. But the people who are for peace, they have to stick with their document. And Wilson was saying that the document was not complete. Which area is not complete? It need to be brought out and pointed out that this area need to be fixed. You know, so that is a document. That is a constitution. This is a legal document. We all have to teach ourselves with it. You know, in terms of Denka or SPLM ruling Southern Sudan for 100 years, yes, they will try. What are the principles of the leadership they are as they have to say that we can hang on the power for this much time? Killing people, feeding our people by the United Nations, even a person to go to just fish for the fish, there is no way that person will be killed unless the United Nations come and feed us in our refugees camp or POC. That is the leadership we trying to say we can hang on for 100 years. Unless we are hyenas, we are an animal. We don't know what we're doing. But they can do that. Remember Idi Amin of Uganda. He dreamed like that. Mobutu Seko Seko, he dreamed like that. Hosni Mubarak, he did. And he prepared his own children to take over. The same to Libya, Gaddafi. The same to Saddam Hussein. But the people, they are the power. They are supreme power. When they turn against you, like what happened to Bashir, they will take you out. There is no Hosni Mubarak or his children or Gaddafi. They're all gone. If this is what Salva Kiir is waiting for, he will get it. But sooner or later, he will get it. Uganda will not be there all the time. The time is changing. Where will he run? If Uganda said, I'm not there anymore, and Kenya said, I'm not there anymore, because the world is changing, he will run. But it's good for them to say now, this peace is for all of us. No winner. We are all losers. Innocent people has been killed. We are all losers. So what we have to do is just to implement the peace. Salva Kiir is not a loser. Peter Beliwi said these people must go. This language, must go, must go. It should not be allowed. Salva Kiir is not going anywhere. Riek Machar is not going, and nobody is going anywhere. All of them. If you call somebody to go, this is a war declaration. Where is it going? So together we can just
fix
together
their problem.
and implement the peace.
Fix their problem, right?
Yeah, we have to fix the problem.
They have to fix it. Okay.
Yeah. Where are they going? But we have to fix it together and correct ourselves together. And that is the fear. You cannot tell somebody go. Who are you to tell me go? This is a war itself. But the peace is there now. They come together, they correct, they forgive, they listen to each other's, and then they confess, and then we move forward. It's not a joke like the lady who was saying today. The reconciliation in Rwanda is happening and it's not fake, it's true. In South Sudan, it has to happen that way. No winner in this war. And all of us, we are scared of each other. We need to Let that go and then move forward. This peace is good for all the people of Southern Sudan. And the people who are still scared, they have to get assurance that they are there. They are part of this peacemaking. No one person, either from SPLM IO or from SPLM JI. We need ourselves. But for us to go ahead, this peace, we need to read it, all of us, and then implement it. And all the internet, the militant we are talking about today, we need to find a way to integrate them
And then
into
you
the
hold
system.
it there till we come to what is the solution.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, Brother Abel, you will be waiting also patiently. Please, what is your take? Also, I give you your 3 minutes, please. I can't hear you. You're unmuted, but why we can't hear you? Uh, Abel, what is the issue? Okay, he's gonna go grab headphones. Sorry about that. Yeah, because he's unmuted, but we can't hear him.
Hello,
Yes,
can you hear me?
yes, yes. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Brother Paul, first of all, I would like to greet you and wish you a happy Easter. This is a good, we are going to the rise of Jesus Christ very soon. And for those who believe in Christian, this is actually wish you happy Easter. To all the panel of Nile Nation Network, you know, I just want to make one thing very clear. When this Nile network came to surface and became, more following of this network, it is that for the sense that would be more neutral to the issue of South Sudan, and regardless of whether the members that form this network hail from different tribes, should not be used as a mean of, ganging up against a certain group of people or a tribe, when the issue that always to be discussed has nothing to do with that particular tribe. And I'm talking about the Padang as a community. And every now and then when such issue came up, Padang usually found themselves being attacked, even though they are not the obstacle to the, to the security arrangement. This is something that people should always stick to the topic. And as a host, if you are the one leading, host that day, I think it will be good for you to always put people into line of the topic of discussion. We are interested to come and have a conversation in the issue that affecting our nation. Whether through writing, comment, or coming here as a guest, and also to talk about the issue that affecting us. This is something that I want to know. But the members of Padang community, are coming now to understand that the Nile Nation Network was possible to mean, either to tarnish the image of Padang community or to be against that tribe, which is something that you should let us know so that we'll be aware what we have missed, especially when we come and join you in this show. Let me talk about the security arrangement. Based on the peace agreement that was signed, the chapter 2 talk about the security arrangement, and it's talk about the ceasefire and also the security arrangement. And there is what they call a joint transitional military security committee that should have actually been formed, whether in a national level, in a state level, in the counties level, to monitor what are the obstacles that are affecting the security arrangement. We can talk here, we can consider talk about this issue, But the right body to actually is to let the people of South Sudan know, if this body that I've said, they can tell us what are the obstacles. We can just guess what are the obstacles, and we came to always point finger to the one of the principle of the security arrangement, which is the government himself, or the party to the security arrangement, that they are the obstacle, that they are not doing so and so. When the fact that the peace cannot be implemented by one side, the peace cannot be only implemented by one side. I remember the CPA. There was also issue when the CPA was signed, and there was clashes in Malakal because Malakal at that time was being run by the National Congress Party, and many people lost their life in Malakal under the command of Tanginya. These forces were aligned to the National Congress Party, the government of Sudan. They were mean to actually to obstruct the peace or the CPA not to go ahead. But what we can say as a citizen of South Sudan, we are concerned whether you are from Padang, whether you are from Shilluk, whether you are from Nuer or any 64 tribe of South Sudan. We should look into this issue as a South Sudanese. What can bring us together? What can we do as a citizen? If we cannot get along while we are talking here, you mentioned this earlier, that let us try to get along here while we are discussing issues. But when you see something wrong being done to your side of the community, you have also to defend it. You have also to come out against it. So the obstacle to the security arrangement, we all understand that, first of all, there was an issue of whether a budget to the security arrangement. There was an issue of the 8 months that was put in place that there can be as a free transitional period. We all understand what are the obstacles. Obstacle cannot be only the government of President Kiir that can be blamed. All these signatory of the peace agreement that continue to have the separate militia, that continue to have the separate armed forces. The government has the own defense forces, as IO, and others also that carry the military wing. These are obstacles of this current security arrangement. And we, as the citizens of South Sudan, we should always point this or pressure both the signatories, including now there's a holdout group. The holdout group, they have militias. Now there was an attack on Juba Ye Road. No one here in this show talk about it. An innocent civilian lost their life in that attack. Are they not innocent South Sudanese? We should condemn any coward attack against either in Malakal or either in Juba Ye Road, anywhere in South Sudan, because a lot of a single South Sudanese is a loss to all nation of South Sudan, and it's a loss to the young nation. So what we can do, we can play a role in making sure that the security arrangement, now we are behind it. There's so many obstacles that we have seen, whether from the government, continue to have the own arms that were not part of unified forces, whether through the SPLM IO that continue to have the militias as well, like the forces of Gulek were not unified, were not put into unification, they were not put into training, and these forces, they have their own objective that they want to pursue. Regardless of their major agreement with SPLM IO, they have their own objective that they want to achieve. And that's something that should also as obstacle to that peace agreement. Because if Johnson Rowling continues to refuse that the Agule cannot be taken to training forces and unified, then what about the objective in which they took up arms for? Was they solved? So I'm not going to take that long. The issue, I did not come earlier because I was having some commitment. I could not come to join you, but I always like to come here to debate you guys, whether you are against Padang community. It's good that we engage you so that we can come into understanding. We will one day sit together at one table and try to find out things that are important, because you are concerned about what's happening in South Sudan. The same thing as me, I'm concerned, and that's why you took your time to come and talk about this issue. Let me conclude by saying this.
Please make it in few seconds, because
yes.
I allow you more than 3 minutes now.
Okay, sorry for that. Let me conclude by saying this. What happened in Malakal, because many of you have brought it up here, the Jing Padang never come here and condemn or threaten the life of governor. But members,
Sorry, say it again.
Members of Cholo and that were not happy about the appointment of Abudok, they make it openly that Abudok is not welcome to Malakal. Abudok, they threaten life. Whether people were commenting, I know those were commenting.
But Abel, we don't want to go there because it's going to open another door. You remember last week or last 2 weeks, you say the Apadang, you say that no one should go, right? So I don't want to go there because if you think, okay, is those of the Cholo that have issue with the Abudok being appointed, right? But Padang should go and also and welcome the governor, right? So I don't want to open that for him because I think as we are all, a majority of us in this show, we are from Upper Nile. Sometime we will allocate a day to talk about Upper Nile, even though yes, Padang feel that they were being ganged at. It just for a simple reason, and I don't want to mention it, but we will mention it there. Why we felt okay, everybody pointing hand at Apadang, but we will leave it for his day. So that's why I don't want to. You guys, every time we talk about the issue of South Sudan, you guys keep taking it to Upper Nile.
I think if Apadang were the members of SLM-IU, if they were actually fighting against the government, I think they could have not been gang up because Apadang were actually siding with the government, and that's the only issue. My last comment is about the 100 years that say that the SPLM will actually rule for 100 years. Now, even here, Otto say that this is not SPLM, this is Dinka. You see, people are saying now President Kiir is grooming his son to be the president of South Sudan. When Peter Ajak talked about what happened in POC, I mean, in testified in New York, people are saying, you see, Dinka now are coming, they want to bring this guy to be the president. Every time you see any confident, I mean, son of Dinka, that there's when President Kiir said that, or any member of the SPLM, doesn't mean that the SPLM is not for Dinka. The SPLM has a party. If the people of South Sudan trust them and give them their vote, whether in 100 years or 200 years, and you are not confident enough to say that any ticket holder that will come from SPLM will be the Dinka. It can be a Nuer, it can be a Shilluk, it can be any 64 tribe, as long as the SPLM brought that person to be that ticket during election. So let us not piece this to the side.
Abel,
Dinka have no plan.
Let me say something, and then you add it to your comment. I know we kind of went out a little bit. Even you warned me that I should keep people in line, but it's just sometimes I like to give people freedom. Express yourself, right? Why we make it bitter to ourselves? But we need to talk. But when it's come to the issue of the SPLM, as you see now, people are saying, okay, Salva Kiir, you should step down, let us give the power to whoever they are choosing. But yet, if you look at the hierarchy of the SPLM, why, if we have to ask Salva Kiir to step down, and then the hierarchy, why don't we give it to Waniga? Why we keep mentioning names that even they are not close to in hierarchy to Waniga? You see, so that's where sometimes people their mind get twisted a little bit. Where is this thing going, right? So I'm just pointing this thing out so you don't think that when people start pointing, oh, look at Salva Kiir, what is he doing? Oh, he want to bring his son to things, because people are seeing something is happening. If Salva Kiir have to not fit to be a president, and SPLM want to give his position away, it should go to Waniga. Like, no argue about it.
But do you know? Are you quite sure that it will not go to Waniga or it will not go to anybody? There will be a primary within the party. As well as the party will actually choose a candidate that they have confidence in, whether it's Waniga or whether it's anybody. You are not confident enough that, because people are just saying, even though they did not say that actually this will be given to Daniel Deng, this will be given actually to Peter Ajak or anybody that is a Dinga, you are not quite sure, but they are mentioning this because of fear. It's just a fear that within people. There's nothing else. There's no proof that this thing will not go to Waniga. If the Waniga want to contest when the time comes, Why not? If President Kiir
Okay,
said
brother
today, I think one
Abel,
person.
let me make this point to you. I think let me make this point to you. I know.
Wait, okay.
Yeah, let me make this point just very quick, very quick.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. You know, sometimes what you see, that's what you say. Like you mentioned, Nial Daniel. Okay, that's what you see, and that's what's going on. So, what people of Southern Sudan get from Salva Kiir is this: when they brought the what you call the first military to Luri, people say no, Salva is not going to do anything because he was the SPLM before, and people they give him a trust. He's not going to do anything. But at the end, what happened? They murder innocent people in Juba. So the trust is missing here. There is mistrust. When he say, I'm going to, like, for example, now, he's trying to campaign for his son. What that mean? This indication that he is preparing some people to come to take over. One of them is son, and one of them, the one you mentioned now, which is Nyal. So why is like that? Because SPLA, they don't have a power. Yeah, they don't have a power to organize and bring someone who can lead the party. If that was the case, he fought and he cannot be out of that one. If that was the case, Waniga cannot be silent until now. Anyway, that's what I want to just bring to
you make your point. Thank you so much. Maybe Abel, just maybe finishing because other people are waiting.
Yeah, what I want to talk, I'm not going.
Maybe in 30 seconds, please.
You know, do not just put things because ruling Sudan for 100 years or 200 years is not about Dinka. It's about the SPLM party. And SPLM party is not a tribe. It's not a tribal party. It's the party that contains all 64 tribes. Any capable leader will come within the party and will be that ticket when the time of election comes. We cannot just speculate things because you have seen President Kiir showing his son. When he shows his son in Bor, it doesn't mean that he's showcasing his son to be the next president of South Sudan. He's showing his son to his in-law. These are the mother of that son hailed from that community, and that's the reason why he's showing it to them. That it is your, your cousin, and this is the son of your daughter, and that's why he came accompanying me. This is what I just about that.
Thank you, thank you so much, brother Abel. Yeah, I think that was Otto mentioning word Dinka, but when I asked the question that SPLM gonna rule for 100 years, I didn't say Dinka, so we know. But any one of you can say any word as long it's still aligned with what we are trying to say. I like to start moving on because I'm very conscious with the time, and I lie to our viewers. We're supposed to finish the show within 2 hours, but now look what we are going for the 4th hour now. So let me give a chance within the same question. My brother Jeremiah, you have your 3 minutes.
I think Jeremiah is not here. And he was quoting me. Hey, this is exactly what is in the mind of J1, which is, is even I was laughing when he was quoting me that this the talking J1, and I was finding fact what is happening in any country with the UN cannot be stable. I'm just taking because it's not here. When he come, I will give him that floor for him.
You are asking me to keep everybody intact, and you're the first person that going the other way. Jeremiah, are you there?
No.
Okay, if Jeremiah is not there, Mabur, do you want to say anything, please? And then I will give you guys 1 minute to wrap up so we can close at 10.
Of course, I want to say something.
Okay, before Mabur say something, I think Jeremiah he sent a message here saying he's here, but I think can you unmute him? Maybe he have a problem to unmute.
No, he muted him. He unmuted himself already, but I don't know if
I did, but he mute himself back. I unmute him, but somebody mute him back. Anyway,
yeah.
Jeremiah, if you can just hang on there, Mabur, if you can do it within 3 minutes, please, your comment, and then we can move to Jeremiah, because we need to close by my time here is within 13 minutes.
Okay. Well, the comment is that if we come to SPLM, let me come to SPLM. Yes, like my brother Abel Kon put it, SPLM is for a 64 plus. I don't code it as 64 only. I say 64 plus because there's some community that has been dominated somewhere or in Greater Equatoria or in Greater Bargadal. There are the people who have been dominated somewhere that need to come out, need to express themselves. Either they call them a Nuer and they are not Nuer, either they call them a Denka and they are not Denka, either they call them a Chuluk and they are not Chuluk, or a Equatorian and they are not even
no problem. We agree with you on the plus. So yeah, because I don't want you to lose your 3 minutes.
Okay, here. If they say SPLM need to rule for 100 years, that's no matter for that. That SPLM should lead for a million years with the name SPLM. No matter if as long they do a good thing. But do the SPLM really an SPLM now? That's the question here. Is it the SPLM is really SPLM? That should rule for even 20 years from now as a dream? Is it SPLM is an SPLM now? I doubt it. In election that coming, if SPLM is still playing that kind of ticket, I'm afraid that they will lose like Young Council of Elders will lose in election of 2010. If you guys don't know, these Young Council of Elders will become a group now. They are members of NCP who lose last time, and then they gang up against the people of South Sudan, including you, Abel Kon. They gang up against you, but you don't see it in your back. Because they are the people who pushing you, say, oh, you know, we have to use this mechanism. You are my brother. We were facing this situation when we were in the bush. They were in Khartoum. They were eating Madida and Sharia. And now they come and set us up between me and you. We the people who have no problem. We the people who was looking for them to bring a country. That's unacceptable. And this is what we need to talk about. We need this country as our country, and we need to develop it. The mechanism of by grabbing land is what you did 78 or 32 to try to rule, to get their own independence. If you don't know, 32 state is to get independent. And where is going to take us? This is the country that we was looking for. It was in our mind that this thing was going to come and happen when we were in the bush? It was in our mind that we are going to have a 32 state? If it was in your mind, and then I didn't know then that there is a plan attached behind the situation. Come to other things. I want you to be a member of Nile Nation Network, that nobody will come and gang to another one. Be a member, be a director, so nobody will come and gang another one. I know you guys are so many. I am the only one in the next side of the aisle. Those who are in the field with me now, I'm the only one now. So I think our country, we need to fix it, and we are the people who will fix it. And let's take that mechanism out from our mind. And thank you.
Thank you, Mabur, for mentioning that, because actually what happened to us in South Sudan, we proved the Jalaba, we proved them right when we were fighting for our independence, when Mubarak al-Fadil, well, what is his name, was saying, Junubina izin shunu. And then we start seeing when we were about to go for referendum, they say, so we proved them right. But maybe some of us didn't see it. That is going to come this way. Otherwise, we will have a different way of approaching the referendum. With no further ado, my brother Jeremiah, your last 3 minutes before I make, I think now the what is the way forward later on is just going to be 1 minute, guys. Otherwise, I will be tough with it and cut you off and give the chance to somebody else. So, brother Jeremiah, your 3 minutes. I'm trying to unmute, but it's not doing it. So can you try it from your end there? Unmute yourself. Okay, now it's good. Okay, go ahead. We couldn't hear you.
Yeah. Kan visual bagul benia the munu who will compensate those one who are in the POC. I hope you heard this question. This question really it cannot do much, or it cannot be implemented, because who will compensate those one who are in POC? Jamade lom gadin up, the insecurity enough. But sabab insecurity zadu le nazil do kuma. Okuma zadu gada tulfium. Ompi the UN. Now, lokuma yoga jak tulfium. Okuma yoga insecurity, kali jamade gadin up. Manal padam. The Munu really, they are to Kuma and begin initiative to compensate another guarded another POC, another guarded UN. Mafi. Swalla ma bam shay mel. Nano barnambe je jamare gadi na do Kuma daynu benu bim ga garu zede. Why? Inen nazal gadi bil buyuta nazal asa dan aspadam. Ay zol gad bi juwa bitazol wa dilo sila. Compensation de biji mirwen bejay izade Kuma bedi sila chal bede zol wade zol sila lo sirebel ja taptulu mana nuna mana kalama compensation tani de compensation ma pinap lana de yaw barnamij pinap. Okay, في سؤال بقول مثلا في سؤال بقول SPLA بقول there were rules on Sudan for 100 years. SPLM, yeah, for 100 years. And Denga بقول بيني it were rules on Sudan for 200 years. So Denga بقول بيني بيحكم جنوب السودان بفترة 200 سنة. وSPLM بقولوا بيحكم جنوب السودان بفترة 100 سنة. ده منو بيحكم الأول؟ ده SPLM ولا دنگا؟ ده شيء الما مفهوم ليه؟ شوف ده؟ So هل SPLM ده دنگا في SPLM ده هل إنهم the same هم hung up ولا ideologies بتاعهم ماشي مع دنگا اللي بقول الما في SPLM بقول دايرين 200 سنة كقبيلة. So إني في contradiction إني SPLM there 100 سنة يحكم جنوب السودان ودنگا إنهم 200 سنة يحكم جنوب السودان. So the confusion, the low discussion bro. That is one. لما نشوف في كلام land grabbing Yeah, no na manishu bini. Hizi begules PLM da will never survive. Ma bosul mie sana mafi. Ma via libeni dasher ya ulagina istiglal utana. Via libeni 13 nas gam shakal. وده نفس SPLM ده بدونا وين؟ ما بدونا قدام. ما بدونا قدام. SPLM سخن. ده أول إزب كان قاعد في كان قاعد يعرر. صار ما جاء في بلد لقى استقلال بتاعه قام فشل طوال. That's some other political, I mean, there's a movement, there was a movement, for example, the Eritrea, there is a guy, the Ethiopia, there is a guy, there's Zimbabwe, there is a guy. Bita Jinuba Sudan, Yaugam, number Nopso. Is someone Gisayer. Lack of leadership, lack of will. For the SPLM in any way will never survive. Jinuba Sudan Tani. Already it lost credibility, it lost popularity, and means LSPLM got Ras Wasa being bus to intimidate the public, to cause insecurity, liaison, and I got to hope, the fear election, the fear harmony liaison. All these are the Tagatigasa and the SPLM. Now let me try to say something about let me take you back because I already said it. SPLM will never rule for 100 years. Even Danga will never rule for 200 years. I learned graphing. SPLM already has failed. They have learned graphing. Shamader, PI region, corruption command, insecurity liaison. So SPLM have no way. What I want to say is في reunification اللي بقول مثلا integration ما بيعملوش عن IO in the root of كتير. That one is not correct. It's not about the rank of IO, which is not allowing integration of the forces to be implemented. That is not correct. It's not about the gun IO has. It's not about the issue. It's not an issue. It's not the IO guns and it's not the RAM. So nakuna gali PSPLA gabal kena. Anyanya tu kan badla bara PSPLA bamche barja. So kan ma fi security arrangement ka gadi amulo mananyanya tu bi jarja PSPLA. Lano Dr. John leadership was quite very strong, and no one is afraid of anyone. People just you join SPLA and just you're given your honor, authority. You are integrated in SPLA without any threat. They are kind of calamity. So as a way the mafias of the Sudan, they raise your shallow. They raise the Barnamij that president of Junub Sudan, your few cases to Junub Sudan. Let me say something about someone said about we're trying to say something about a bishop, Wadami and Guadamai Betrol.
Yeah, Brother Jeremiah. Yeah, I know we exhausted that. I don't want us to take us back, and we look into it like it's a upper night issue. But if you have something, just you can say it maybe in half of a minute, right? In that regard, quickly.
Okay, in that minute. Okay, it's a clarification. That clarification. But when we come here to debate about tangible issues, which will be benefit for the benefit of our people, as South Sudanese. But when we come here and try to defend ourselves, while while at the same time we are the one causing a problem. Let me try to say this one. Countries all begun masalana Guatemala petrol. Guatemala petrol. Bishakal lakan nas chakal babu Junuba Sudan. They were not Guatemala petrol. They get the Junuba Sudan now by the shakal. Nazal the Malaysh with Gabila. Tajanuna Revin. They also make Guatemala petrol and the Losila, Ukuma Yamada Garbara, Umagari Shakal, Benich and a Dako petrol. Petrol can mamma added. Niji to get what a good Gajalabia. Gajalabia, the water brought up a dam. Gata Gajalabia. And a very result was the milli, the water Sumajan, Yogata Yoga del Bed Gata Gajalabia. And I could have got mouse of a Merwa to 11 or Batasha. I got Yokan Gata Gajalabia. Oma Pichakala. You know, Anobiaru, Timamo the Gulen and White Army Tabadam. Timothy the Kilomana Buchok, Ma Buchok the can wild Minalio, Min Batiel or more. But at the end of Tamakol. Abuchok ma Pilaras, Abuchok Mafi. Then as a them Mothani Oshalu, but at the Villa, or Kadupi Dakalo Bichok. So Abuchok Magai. Del mana del Malaysia. The bill of wide neutral Malaysia that what the Okuma. So okay, let me say solution fundamental solution to Mushakal LP Junuba Sudan.
And yeah, why don't you hold it there? Chanana badikum kulokum hasada minute and we wrap up
more than 3 minutes.
and we call it a good night. Yeah. Okay, so when you come to that, we will come to that. If you can just hang on there, Jeremiah. I will just give you 1 minute, 1 minute, guys, all of you, because we need to find a way out. Okay, and the way out should be okay. Any one of us should have a say, but please let us say it the way we think that should be the only way forward. Like if you try to elaborate and you try to do this, but why don't you put it? What could be the way forward, right, for the security arrangement to take place? It could be 1 word, 2 word from you. We will take it, right? Because it's just you know, our viewers are watching, and even also maybe government personnel are watching. But is maybe there is something that they are missing that they didn't see, right? So maybe we will mention it to them and try to implement it, and not necessarily that come from Abel or Wilson or whatever, but at least they have an idea how we think. What will be the way forward for the real implementation of the security arrangement should take place? And that will be our final question, guys. I want you, all of you guys, let us respect the time together, and let us keep it in 1 minute. I know we love to talk, we want to talk, but can we keep it in 1 minute, please? And we go from there. So I heard Brother Wilson, you say something, but I will give you your 1 minute, your final 1 minute. Okay, Brother Wilson, go ahead. What will be the way forward? Like something tangible. Like we don't need to go to accusation anymore and things like that. Just let us focus. What will be the way out?
When it comes to our time, you stop us, but you allow people to touch our toes. But anyway, I'm not going to go there.
You're a big guy. If your toes was touched, you just brush it out. Sorry about that.
Like Brother Jeremiah is always come back to touch our toes. I am not going to answer him anymore. By the way, the only way forward, you know, there is a say in America here sometime, you know, oh, I cannot go and vote. My vote doesn't matter. For those who are far away from America, they think America is perfect, democratic. But sometimes they say you can win a popular vote, but you can still lose to become a president if the so-called college does not approve your thing. So now, why I do say that we can talk all day long, we can do our opinion here, but are the people who are in leadership, whether a rebel or a government, going to take our opinions or our idea to implement it? If they can take that, I think South Sudanese, they were being outspoken for a long time. If they were really people pay attention of what South Sudanese are saying in diaspora, they would have to be benefit. So my short way out, Riek Machar should be can be allowed to go and visit his forces and try to be given a responsibility to organize his forces with the rank that are supposed to be accepted. That should be another way out. And then the other way out, people had to compromise. You know, sometimes government is a government. So Biel mentioned the PCA Bitana Khartoum. There were so many attacks in order to distract us to go to war. Abiy was attacked in 2008, then 2010 twice, and then the same thing to Malakal. And when it's come to the distribution of the ministry, Khartoum say very clearly that there are specific ministerial position cannot be given to you, whether you like it or not. Then Salva Kiir say, okay, let those go. So sometimes it need a compromise with somebody who want to achieve the goal, you know, need to come down a little bit and find your way out. Things are going to work, you know. And then these are the things I can think, you know, Riek Machar should be allowed to go and organize his forces and see, because there is a lot of call out, and these are the fear, like I say before, there are fear both sides. But the only way out.
Yeah, say that last word there. I was about to say thank you, but yeah, say that last word. Just spit it out.
Yeah. So my opinion, that's what I see should be way out. And then the so-called there were a committee that supposed to be in charge of this security arrangement. They have to visit again, and revisit, and try to organize the forces as quick as possible. If that can work, then it will make a sense. So that's all I can say.
Thank you so much, brother Otto. What is the way out? Like, let us just focus. What do you think that could be the way out?
Okay, thank you. The exit from what's going on in Southern Sudan, very simple and easy. The article in peace agreement 2.2.3, it said the following activities shall take place during the pre-transitional period. Article 2.2.3.1 says civilian area shall be immediately demilitarization, and this including school, service center, occupied houses, IDP camps, protection of civilian seat, villages, churches, masjid, centers, all that livelihood. Those areas have to be dismantled. That means really we still need our leaders to read those documents and try to apply it, at least people they can come back. I hope the governor of Upper Nile will take this very seriously, because they have a bandit that they can use. Anyone occupying the house, IDP, the protection, let them take it very serious and bring those people back to their places and make security arrangement by themselves. I think instead they have a right, and I hope they can do that. And the government Southern Sudan, they will help them also to bring some forces to protect everybody, including Apadang, including all who are in the other area that are not protected. And thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I see you mentioned Apadang. Abel Kon was laughing. It's you know, you have to accept it. You know, Apadang are a very famous tribe in Upper Nile. So be it, right? So anyway, we will mention you anywhere. It's just counted. These people, they love us so much. Okay. Mabur, your 1 minute, please. What is the way out? You want me to unmute you? You are muted. Let me unmute you.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you
Yeah. No.
you guys get up on me.
Yes. Don't worry. Every time we will gang on you, man. If that is what you think, yeah, you're from Unity State. You go there. Anyway, let's go. Your 1 minute, please.
Actually, what Wilson said, I agree with him already. Only what needed is a security arrangement. That's what it needed at all. Uh, I agree, actually. So I will not go no more.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if you mix up between the names, but anyway, we will take it like that. Brother Abel, your 1 minute, please. So we can go home and go sleep. You're home already, but we can go to sleep. Your 1 minute.
Yeah. All right. You know, the issue of South Sudan are not that complicated, but it is the people that are making it more complicated. If we survive under the CPA, agreement that took us 6 years for, that's up and down. I think because we are brothers, the way out, there's two way out. The issue of Upper Nile way out is that the Shuluk and the Jingapadang should go to court. This is what I'm. This is something that will not finish until we go to court about this issue of the land accusation.
I heard you. Okay, leave. Yeah, now Cholo and Apadang, let them go to court. That is fine.
Yes, I'm
We
not
heard
talking
it.
about the South Sudanese court because they accused Jingapadang. William is here. Although he's here, let them open a case against Jingapadang, whether in the West or in the Hague, so that we can put this issue to rest. Let them bring up the document. They said that the eastern part of the banks belong to them, and Jing Padang will produce those documents in a confident court that they trust. The issue way out of the national issue that we have in South Sudan. Now, the forces are not trained. Of course, the unified forces has to be trained and deployed in an area that especially demilitarize the centers. I know even in Malakal that there's no army in the school, there's no army in houses. There's no houses in Malakal that are actually standing. It's just a ground that is standing in Malakal. So let the enemies close down in Malakal and let them come back to the houses. Let the life go back to normal. This is something I can say. If you don't feel more secure in Malakal, just find where you can be more secure so that the life can go back to normal. This is the thing out. Visiting of Dr. Machar is something that can be accepted by the government of South Sudan because it's a part of this peace agreement. Let them go to his forces. Let them actually try to make sure that the arrangement of his forces is in order. You should not be afraid what Machar will do, whether if they let him go. If he decides not to come back, it's okay. There's no problem about it. If he said that I want this peace, to be in a good faith, I think he can be trusted to travel and visit his forces wherever they are, so that the unified forces can be graduated and actually deploy, so that whoever militia holding guns, if you say that there's militia of Padang, there's militias of as you know that the Gulag has 1,000 of men that are trained, should be disarmed, and period.
Thank you.
Brother Abel, you are living in denying world, man. Because
Okay.
He is afraid for Riek Machar to go to his forces.
Sorry, Otto. I have to stop you here because it's not really the issue is bigger than both of you. Not Abel Kohn, not Otto. The issue is bigger than you, right? So let us really tackle it with some care. Please, Mabor, maybe don't show those things because we're just wrapping up here. The issue is bigger than all of us, but it needs a real issue. Regardless, we like it or we don't like it, peace will prevail in the country of South Sudan. But just let us be a part of the peacemaking. That is what I can say for now. My brother William, your 1 minute, please.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, way forward is very important. But I would like to say what Brother Mobile Abel Kon said, that, and it's very clear, unless if somebody is not living in the peace which was signed, people reverted already to 10 state, and going back to 10 state resolved the land issues already, period. So it is not Shuluk that should go to court, is Padang that should go to court if they have issue with 10 state issues. And that is not Shuluk. Who did that is the old people of Southern Sudan to go back to 10 state. So we are abide by the map that is demarcated by 10 state, which is 1st January 1956. So we are okay with that, and Southern Sudanese all they are okay, and the world is okay with that. But whoever is not okay with that is the one who will seek for the justice. The way moving forward, yes, change of the language, because we have to see if we are in a peacetime, our language was to change. We see it in the video today, which is very difficult, but they have to do it. There is no way out. We people of Southern Sudan should adjust our language in order to trust each other, because there is already mistrust. So language should change, and also acceleration of training and graduation of unified forces, and is very, very important, so our people can have peace, and nobody to be blamed, or this ethnic militia or whatever. So when we have army for the Southern Sudan, we are all protected. And also, as brother Wilson mentioned, when you have a peace, you should not do evil thing anymore. So the mobility of Dr. Yamashar is very important, because how can we ask him to make peace if his mobility is restricted, And lastly, it's very important for us as the people of Southern Sudan that we cannot be just audience. That is our life. So we have to be participant in decision making in Southern Sudan. So yes, we are not in the office, but the government, they have to listen to the people. So therefore, we in diaspora, I think there is a lot of people who are now working to prepare the petition to force the government. We are not calling them rebel again or whoever, but revitalize it, the transitional national government, national government unity, so that they do what they are asked by peace to do it. So we are completing petition, addressing what we are talking about today, and we are already in communication with the permanent members.
When is that petition will be available? It's just if you can wrap it up in 30 seconds.
Yeah. Maybe tomorrow will be ready, and already there are a lot of people who are communicating already with the member of Security Council, and then that will go there. They need to see Southern Sudanese people to be active and to be engaged with them even, and with African Union, so that we work together as partners with our government and with the people who support us. So that is the way, and we will share it with all the audience that they can sign it. That will come out maybe tomorrow or Monday. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. my brother Jeremiah, and that will be the last chance. Your 1 minute, and maybe just there is the part two of the video that we played earlier. We can play part two, and if you want to stay, that is good, and if you want to leave, you can leave also. But my brother Jeremiah, please, can you unmute yourself, or me is going to do it, and your 1 minute, please. And then you can go to what you were. I keep stopping you about the way forward. Maybe in 1 minute, please.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate Brother Abil for what he said. The Korea should be allowed to go and visit his forces, and this was the point I was about to make.
We cannot hear you, Jeremiah. Can you raise the volume?
Jeremiah, it was not Abel Cohn, it was Brother Wilson. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Wilson, okay. Are you not getting me?
Yeah.
Are you getting me now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Good now.
Yeah, I agreed with Brother Wilson regarding what he said, that Dr. Yak should be allowed to go and see his forces. And it was the point I had really, but since he had already made it, it is very good, because Dr. Yak last time had wanted to go to Magenis to meet the chief of general staff of IO, but it became impossible because of the government of South Sudan. Since we have this will now, this is good. This is what we should be calling up on the government to make sure it's allowed to move freely. This one point is okay. The other point I was about to make, it has been clarified by Brother Otto, because I was about to say the solution is security should be renegotiated, and all the parties and under a GATT, an African Union, had to be called back to renegotiate the security arrangement, because it was last time in paper, it was okay, but when it came to implementation, it didn't go well. So it need to be renegotiated. This is one of the way, because we don't trust ourselves, and that's why it failed to be implemented. Another thing is about the international community. The people of South Sudan should appeal really to the international community to make sure the
Brother Jeremiah, can you increase the volume a little bit or come closer to your device? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Let me summarize. Security arrangement reinitiated by the all parties, and an African Union, they should be notified that the two leaders or all the parties in South Sudan, they failed to implement security arrangement, and they should be called back to negotiate it in good faith and had to be observed until it is implemented fully. This is one. And the people of South Sudan, they should try to make international community to understand that people in South Sudan, they need peace, and the leaders, stakeholders, and political elite, they are not interested in peace by not accepting to implement the security arrangement as it had been agreed upon. And it is the right of people of South Sudan to hold them accountable under the watch of the Security Council and the rest of the international community, in particular the United States, Norway, or in general, Troika. Again, civil society, South Sudanese civil society, they had to come up clearly this time, not to be partial. They should be really neutral and try to stand with the will or with the people of South Sudan, and to make sure they are involved, because in any government civil society is very important in how to manage or how to run the country. They are like a mediator between the government and the and the people. And regarding the other thing to do with going to court, someone was saying she looked with Padang. So I want to assure someone that someone who had been saying like this, the one who said that Shuluk will never go to Padang court and Sulphur court. This court is for Padang and Sulphur. It is not for Shuluk. So we have no way to waste our time and go to Padang and Sulphur court. We don't want that one. And these are the peaceful means.
I think the court was not was mentioned two kind of court, either Silva and Padang court, as you say, but also we can go to ICC in Hague. So it was mentioned as well. So anyway, I think we will leave it there. And what I would like to say
is because the Shuluk, they don't have a proven. That's why Brother William say here that we cannot go to court because they cannot prove anything in the court.
No. He said, the states, they went back to 10 states. It was not a decision of a Cholo, but it was a decision brought by River Twice Peace Agreement. So in that case, if Padang have any, let them go to court. To take
one they are claiming,
you know, both of you are
Wilson and Abel, come down. Concoy,
just a minute.
I think we are done.
Let's make this clear. Padang are not the one accusing Shuluk of grabbing the land. Padang is being accused of grabbing Shuluk land. Therefore, as an accuser.
Which land?
Okay.
Yes, Malakal belong to you. That's what you're accusing me of grabbing. Nakia belong to you. You're accusing me of grabbing.
Okay. Let me tell you, you people of Upper Nile, okay, please, the Nile Nation Network, it's for all South Sudanese. But let us put it this way: really, when it's come to the issue of Malakal as a capital, right? I think we also, the Nuer and Maban, we have a say. Okay, my dad is buried there.
We're not
okay,
talking about
so
being
it's a land for all of us.
And you guys about land ownership is not because of capital. It's the land ownership.
We're not chasing anybody from Malakal.
No, but
acknowledge that.
Okay. Let's leave it there. Malakal is for all of us. You guys. Okay, let me meet all of you, so at least I can end up the show, right? I would like to say thank you so much, guys. But please, not every time we come up. We can say examples, but we don't want to make the show is like a Upper Nile issue. Seriously, let us focus in a bigger Sudan, in a bigger South Sudan, because really that country need us. The only thing that I can say was today's topic. I do blame the grantors because they are a little bit weak. They don't make their point clear, even though if they see the signatures are not implementing everything in letter and in spirit. It's them who's supposed to bring them back to table because they are there as observers, but sometimes they are not taking it serious. So for that reason, I will blame the grantors. Otherwise, they should leave the thing from the get-go in our hands and let us deal with our own issue. But when you come as a grantor and now you don't abide by what you're supposed to be doing, I think if South Sudan really went back to war fighting itself, they are the one who I will blame. My friends that came to the show today, I would like to thank you all, Brother William, Otto, Mabor, Wilson, Abel Kohn, Jeremiah. Thank you so much for coming, guys, and we will see you again and again in a different topic. If you guys want to stay, you can stay. I will play the second video of that Rwandan reconciliation and things like that. And if you want to go later on, you can watch it yourself. But thank you so much, and I will say happy Easter once again. Christ is risen. Thank you.
The 20th anniversary of the genocide in Rwanda. Over the course of 100 days in 1994, a murderous ethnic killing spree took the lives of nearly 1 million people there. Special correspondent Fred de Sam Lazaro reports on the efforts underway even now to reconcile the rival parties. Fred's report is part of our series, Agents for Change. A version of the story aired on the PBS program Religion and Ethics News Weekly.
Every Sunday, Claude Musiamana picks up his neighbor Celestine Buhanda on their way to church. You'd never tell from the warm traditional greeting that Musiamana murdered several members of Buhanda's family. It's a friendship as unthinkable as the homicidal orgy in which Hutus like Musiamana took nearly 1 million lives among the minority Tutsis like Buhanda, as well as some moderate Hutus.
Growing up, I remember my grandmother would tell me how bad they were. In 1994, when we started killing people, the local leaders were supporting us. I did it freely. There was no blame, no consequences.
Official broadcasts incited Hutus to kill Tutsis after an airplane carrying the country's Hutu president was shot down, escalating a simmering civil war fought along ethnic lines.
I think I will stop it here, my viewers, because I thought that is the second part of it, but it didn't play, so sorry about that. I will stop it right here, and I will play something else. Thank you.
Ethnic flare-ups, churches had served as safe.
And I wish you all a very good night and happy Easter.
You too, the host. Next time, try to give us more minutes, please.
No comment.
You want to gang against Upper Nile or what?
جنوبين كل يوم موت موت لمتين يا اخوانا نقول سلام سلام متين السلام ده يجي يلدونا في هروب ونربي في هروب وكمان نموت في هروب لكل جنوبي يموت قطعة من جنوبنا بيموت نجري لمتين ولوين ندي يالنا وندي أرواحنا وندي دمنا فضل شنو تاني أنا تعبان أنا ما شعبان لكن أنا بس تعبان أنا ما فرحان لكن أنا بس وطران أنا ما سكران لكن أنا بس كسران أنا ما كسران لكن أنا بس سكران Say we that beat وهلا وسلام مفروض يكون مفهوم يا في الجنوب جاز لا يكون هذا مواطني ما يشوف يا بنية بونجوز يا محبوبة حاجات ما بفهم في جنوبنا قبلية جوا أنظرية جوا كرهية جوا قلب كبير جوا فساد جوا نغمة حاجات الناس جوا بويا صوت فاشو بيجي باب البازوكا جري لبتين جنوبيين قاعدين في كمبالا نيروبي UN أمريكا أستراليا سبين أي روم بتاع الدنيا جنوبيين سي لي وبلدان طالع no wisdom one sound the gun redundant like a head song I'm feeling so tight أنا تعبان أنا تعبان من جري أنا تعبان Let me tell you the feature. Allah come and feature. Talkamala watsa, talkamala watsa. Usawa saka patnachia. Anataban. Mashakal karabutale. Kali nur dia fatale. Think about the youth, think about the future. Another one.